Hello, and welcome to episode 3 of LOL Angelz with a Z, hosted by yours truly, Ruby Spacek, and the lovely Lo on this side.
Hi, guys. How are you? And thanks for joining us today. I think today is going to be our best episodes so far. Honestly, I think so. But let's get straight into it. Honestly, last week, guys, obviously we had our chaos with the open panel. I had lost my voice. It was.
Oh my! I forgot about that. She literally. You are such a trooper. Like, some people just like would flake. I mean, for understandable reasons. Yeah. Like, but you were like could barely speak, and you were still like
because it's our show. Like us being like a host, a co-host. I can't just not show up, and I'm gonna be here standing 10 toes down, maybe not be able to speak, but that's okay.
Yeah, right. I think I'd do the same. I'd just be like, if I'm sick, like I'm sick, whatever. It's from our houses, so it's not that hard. Speaking of houses, so I've been praying. A lot of people know I struggle a lot with like executive functioning, my cleaning, and like keeping like appointments and things like that. So I've been praying, and like I've just been focusing on like the stories I tell myself about my capabilities. And how often I tell myself, like, what's wrong with me? I'm fucked up. I can't clean. I can't keep track of anything. And I'm stuck in that loop, So I've been, like, praying for a path out of this.
Facts. Because God opportunities, too. Because it's like, if you pray, I feel like, for, like, patience or to get rid of your laziness, he's going to give you those opportunities for you. Like, if you're paying for patience, he's going to put you in a long-ass line in the grocery store and make you wait there for 15 minutes. It's just like little ass opportunities like that for you, to learn and get your lessons up. So maybe he opens up things for you to do sometimes, like times in the day that you usually don't have free, or something at work that you could be doing, or just like, anything along those lines. And like, when you finally realize like those are the moments you're like, oh, okay, these are the things that are teaching me how to be patient or how to be more productive, then you kind of just float, like roll, and you'll get there, Ruby. Like, don't worry about yourself. You got this. We all believe in you. And I feel like the more people believing in you and talking good about you and praying for you, like, the more likely you're going to make it. So,
well, I'm proud to announce that I have made it. And I cleaned a significant portion of my room that used to be
Ruby,
absolute. The people know. And I started posting my room in part because I wouldn't let people over at my house. I hid my mess, and now having people see it, it's like I wanted that accountability.
That makes me so happy. Like, I don't even know. That just made me so happy, Ruby. Stop. Was that the surprise that you
Dude, you're gonna make me like cry already. And oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy for real. Just because doesn't it feel so like just good to be in your own space and be able just to like feel that pressure released off your shoulders? Because I know it does. I know it has to.
Yeah, I just feel like I have been, just praying and trying to like be more like imaginative and like telling myself a story where I'm capable of more and challenging myself every day to just like pick up, the absolute cliches. But it's obviously something I've struggled with for months. My room has been like that. And I just would get this feeling of like terror, like anytime I like thought about cleaning, and it was like just
it felt like the end of the world or something. It felt like the end of the world.
Yeah, it felt like I would rather jump out of my window. Like, I don't know what, it was irrational. It didn't make sense. Like, it was just like some weird anxiety thing. And speaking of, it's like probably something from my subconscious. Like, it represents something else. And that's one of our topics
something that you healed from, or, you know, trauma that you went through that you just are kind of suppressing, letting settle in. So whenever like small things happen or small things that you have to do, you feel like you just said, like you want to jump out the window or it's the end of the world. And, you know, but I can relate to that a little bit. Like my situations are a little bit different, I guess. But like sometimes, you know, a little thing could just like, I have no in between kind of. It's like, I'm usually feeling cool all the time. But if something like bad happens, then I think it's the end of the world. And like, oh my God.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I'm too soft and like I need, like I obviously I really hurt my life and the people around me when I was addicted to drugs, and you know it's a long process of rebuilding a life, and it's a very humbling process because you have to start from zero, and you know, and just own it and be like, yeah, I'm at zero right now, but I am really trying to reach for something better, and I'm hoping that people can see that I'm trying to elevate like the content and just my life in general, you know.
Right. And I hope that you see that too. I mean, I think that we do a pretty good job, obviously, you know, on our own separate channels, which we should shout ourselves out. You know, there could be new people watching. I'll start, guys. Hi, I'm Lo from Riding High with Lo. That's my channel name. I make gaming videos, talk about, I don't know really what I do. I make blankets though, for sure. I can tag you in my form that I have. I usually don't promote myself on a lot because I'd be just forgetting. I'm not that type of person. But,
me too. And then also it sounds like awkward, but like in order to make it like as an artist or on YouTube, you have to get to be able to promote yourself, you know, in a way that's not, you know, like cocky or weird. You just be like, yeah, and this is my channel, like, and that, you know, just so people know. I don't know. Oh, there's our little logos are came back up. I don't know why.
And Ruby, like what you're doing, like obviously we've always had the clouds, but the little logo up top and the little angels at the bottom, I'm in love with it.
We're cleaning it up. And speaking of cleaning it up, I also want to give a shout out to Z Star, and I made a little animated video, and then I also have another short little video just to help us raise these awesome vibes even higher. Yes,
and we do have our highlighted guest this week, which will be OPC Dawn. It was supposed to be Mr. Stinky Brew and Bubbles. I don't know if anyone knows him. He's President Trump on YouTube sometimes, but he does great impressions, and we were going to have him as one of our spotlights, but unfortunately both of them were unable to make it. So we, you know, last minute got OPC Dawn, which thank God he said yes. It, you know, if we wouldn't have had,
perfect, because he had messaged, I had reached out to him for our first episode, and is OPC Dawn, he's in the Angels here, right? Yep, he's up there. So I made this to just give a little shout out, you know,
really quick.
So like, let me bring it back.
That's my phone, sorry. But okay,
no, he's just made a lot of progress. Everyone's noticed, and like I think he has a really interesting perspective on like what it's like to have like an online persona of like being a troll. Like there's some people who act very different online than they do in person. And that's one of the topics I wanted to get into tonight is like, why do people act so different? Does it matter? Like, is it, you know, is this just the new norm that people just behave worse online? It's like with people in cars, there's a separation. So you get road rage. It's like, you know, a kind of similar.
It's in real life and over in line. It's in real life and over in line. And that's like kind of why we got to dive into this like online persona, identity, who you are, why it matters today. Because that is the topic of the week, guys. Like persona, yourself, identity. Those are the things we're going to be talking about today with our videos. But we are going to see the good news video first. And then I do have I don't know how long my video was. It was kind of short. It was like 10 minutes, I think. I'm not sure. But what else happened last week? Oh yeah, we had Smith, if you guys remembered him, our little
Smith came on. I mean, that was interesting. Oh, hey, Glink's here.
His conversation.
We'd love to have you come back up later too. He's been
absolutely. No, I told Ruby like we can have Glink as a guest whenever because you have great conversations. And don't get me wrong, Smith did too, but he came in and he literally said like with the lights, the drama, it was a lot. He was like, "I'm your guys' snake in the garden." And just like, okay. And then
I'm kind of glad he did something weird, but at the same time, we do want to be more about like having like earnest like conversations with other people who are exploring their spirituality. And it's like, I've done the whole atheist debate thing for like 15 years. So it's like, I can't think of anything I want to do less than like debate the Bible, debate something that I don't even like. I'm not a fundamentalist or anything. I'm not even, I'm spiritually confused. Like, and
it's all about just our, like, we're only talking about our opinions and our self-discoveries and journeys, and we want to hear other people's too. So it's not like comparing each other's, but I don't know, like I feel like the people kind of get our show kind of mixed up, like we're saying like, oh, you got to follow God and you got to do these things that we're saying and whatever, but really this is just like it's like a journal for real. Like we're just writing, we're just telling our thoughts and our feelings, and like hopefully some of you guys resonate with it and can help somebody. Like,
yeah, exactly. And like we're both works in progress, and I share a lot of my life. I don't think I have anything absolutely figured out. This is for me about exploring ideas with other people who are also curious about these topics or self-reflective. I think it is like really important to be able to describe who you are. If someone says, who are you? A lot of people don't know. If someone asks you, what do you want? Like, that's a good one to think about. What do you want, like, the most? And like, just honestly really think about it. And like, what does that mean? And then you're like your shadow self that you don't even want to see. And there's just like a lot of.
What was the question? We have a question for you guys, question for the chat. Do you guys think, or is there a correct way to navigate through life? And that's like, it's one of them vague kind of broad questions, just like, oh, who are you? It's kind of hard to answer because who knows if there is a right way to navigate through life. So,
yeah, and you could take it like a philosophical way, or whichever direction you want to
you guys let us
approach it. We like being open-ended, we're all about that, that business.
Absolutely. But before we like get to those videos, let's shout out some people really quick, and then we can do the scripture of the day. But so like I'm just like obviously seeing people. Stevie, hey, what's up? And you guys already know we'll be doing an open panel after we do our videos and our conversations and our spotlights. So people will be able to come up. Dirty Curdy, hey, how are you? Junk, Napstar, of course. Talmit, Psycho Man, E-Man, JF, Charlie Brown. I don't know, guys. There's a
loading. Hopefully Z-Star is somewhere.
But I can't say that name. Or Bokramu. Is that how you say it? You said, first of all, I said
what is this gay shit?
It's crazy.
We just went over like literally what the show is about. Like literally not even a second ago. Like I feel like that was just a second ago. So I don't know if we need to like repeat it. Basically, this is a show where me and Lo, who are two people who are somewhat new to streaming, come and talk about basically our spiritual journey and try to like interpret, being online with the positive lens and create a community where people feel like they can express themselves that way without being called like the F slur or something. Like, because no one can be sincere online. It's all like, which is also
it's just a safe haven and a safe spot for people to come and talk about whatever. Because it's like somebody. Hold on one second. Excuse me, really quick, Ruby. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. This will be a good chance. I wanted to show. Here's a little Ruby lore. So when I made my YouTube channel, my name, and this was like 7 years ago, is Based Femoid, and I didn't have like a name to tell people. So then the night before my debate with Jesse Lee Peterson, Ethan Ralph was like asking me, what's a name, which I call you. And I made a Twitter and I chose Ruby because I had red hair, which I'm coming back to. And also it's my mom's puppy's name, who she had just gotten. And it was also like a family nickname for my older brother. So it has like a lot of different lore elements to it. And then the last name of Spacek is from Sissy Spacek, who was the actress famous for Carrie. And I thought it was a unique name. Dude, Glink, you said it, bro, dude.
Who is that? Who is
no,
that?
I don't. No. You know what? I don't want to start draw. Oh my gosh. So it's just this another streamer who is somewhat similar to me in some ways. And her username was like Femoid, and I mean, it was a common like insult at the time. This is like a few years ago.
He said he can get Oh god. Oh god.
I mean, I would love. I've been following her on Twitter, and I'm always commenting. I think she's really pretty, and I think she's intelligent, and I would absolutely love to talk to her. But I'm a fucking reply guy to her. She does not respond to me.
I mean, we could have her up. I personally, I don't know who that is. Obviously, you guys know me. I don't know anybody, but we can get her on.
Stevie knows all the lore. And yeah, Glink was one of the few people who was around during my first, little like rise to YouTube, doing my rounds in the anti-SJW.
So she was kind of like how Glink was. He got to see you in the beginning of like what your feelings and stuff were. So this would be her new, but you said you've been following her for a while, so maybe she's kind of already been like peeping.
I will only since maybe like for a year, so I didn't know her before anything. I don't want to even say anything. I don't want to start any drama with anyone ever. Nothing. I admire her, and I think she's an interesting content creator. And as someone who also like was a former OnlyFans model and has like complicated views on that whole thing, I think we'd have a really interesting conversation. But
me too. Because I mean, I wouldn't join that conversation, but I honestly have no opinions on it other than like, I mean, everyone knows me. I'm into God, and I don't think anybody should be having, casual sex. So that's just me, and that's my only opinion on it, literally. But that would be a very, very interesting conversation between you two. But Napstar, let's not do that.
I struggle to sit still. I thought I was being like relatively still, but speaking of,
I don't honestly, Ruby. I don't even notice it because I feel like
you're like used to like me on my phone. I'm like so. I'm just a very animated
okay. So
person. Wait, let me play the Ruby.
Ruby, you're such a good watchdog.
Pretty cool, right? My face looks so stupid when that switched back. I was like,
deer. Like I like deer, but they're a little weird. I don't know.
But so that was my mom's dog, who is Ruby, who is my namesake, and a very sweet dog. I would love to have a dog again. But anyway,
what someone Danny Phantom had asked us, Ruby and Lo, do you think there's a difference between chatters and lurkers? Two different categories, in my opinion. What is he talking about? Just as in like,
yeah, I know what he's talking like. Categories of like people, like, and it's almost like a level of introversion and extroversion online. Some people do not engage at all, but they will watch every episode or every stream or everything, but they don't comment or engage in the community. Some people are almost only there to comment and be in the community, and they almost don't give a fuck about who the streamer is anymore because it has its own.
And yeah, I feel like how he said it, it's two very different categories. Now that like I understand what he's saying now. Yeah. Chatters, like the people who are chatting and the people who are just watching in the backgrounds, those are two different people. Like, I mean, even there's a whole third category of people who come up on the panel too, because a lot of people stay in chat. But hey, shout out to you, Universal Jones. Everybody go follow him by Brandon Jones. That's his YouTube name. He's great, just everything. I don't know. I'd be losing my train of thought when I think of
I know. I love the curl. I love your hair. Looks so cute tonight. I think we're slaying in the visual.
Me too. Definitely for the couch, like little blazer. I mean, I got this. My grandma gave this to me. I don't even know how many years ago, and I just have like men's like buttons up and stuff because that's the type of clothes that I like to wear. I don't know.
Dude, me too. Well, whatever. We already know that we're like soul twins. That's been established.
No, we do. People don't understand.
Literally.
See, yeah, Universal said nice there, Ruby. And that's what I'm saying. You got that like champagne, shiny fucking blazer on. That's real cute.
This I specifically got for this show. I got it. There's like a secondhand store downtown, and this was only like $5. Sometimes they'll just have some like random kind of
Right.
kooky looking thing.
But
like,
that's
for
actually
cheap.
a good ass deal because it looks in good condition too. So,
Thank you.
but
It's
okay,
all
should
about,
we
how you style it.
do our scripture of the day?
Absolutely. And I love the one
You
that you
can
selected.
if you want to
It's
read
so
it,
good.
and then if you want to read it, I'll read like basically the little description definition that we have for it.
So it's Proverbs chapter 16, verse 24. Gracious words are a honeycomb, sweet to the soul and healing to the bones.
Mm-hmm. And I personally, I think that was one of the first times that I've seen that. I felt like it was familiar. That's why I kind of put it in there. But when I looked it up, because I always if you guys don't know, there's this like website called Bible Art, and it will give you it'll give you like pictures, obviously, of art of Bible descriptions, but what
I would love
that verse might particularly mean, I'm not sure, but that's what I have in here a little bit. So basically, that scripture is a reminder of the impact that our words can have, what our words can have on others and ourselves. So just as honey is a natural source of sweetness, pleasant words have the power to bring joy, comfort, and strength to those who are receiving them. In a world filled with negativity and harshness, the value of speaking kindly and highly to others cannot be overplayed. And I personally, I put those are in my words too, because guys, I can't stress enough how much we need to just stop all this disrespectful talking to people, calling people out of their names, even just calling people stupid and the R word and a whole bunch of stuff. It's not good to speak badly about people, and that's gonna stay with them. It's gonna stay with you. It's gonna make your mindset all, hey, they called me crooked low. It's gonna make your mindset crooked. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
But
and I'm guilty of all of this. Just so people know, I am aware that, I'm guilty of all these things, and I'm, very openly trying to aspire to be better and be more cognizant of how my language is impacting people, especially as I get more followers. I feel like it's more impactful to someone. It used to, if I was following a YouTuber, even if they only had 2K subs or something, if they responded to me negatively, it would hurt. I'd be like, damn.
Exactly.
But
just a little bit rest of this. When we speak kind and uplifting words, they have the ability to bring inner sweetness and joy to the soul, as well as to promote physical health and energy. The importance of using our words wisely and with kindness is the utmost. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and that's facts. So
absolutely. And also life, life can be just brutally hard. You never know. People at any given moment are dealing with catastrophes. They're dealing with death, grief, addiction, so many things. And I've been walking around downtown at various points, just at my wit's end. And it really was impactful if someone was just rude to me. That could just set me off, and I'll be like, you know what, fuck it, I'm done, fuck it, I'm so done trying to be good, this sucks, I'm over it, fuck it.
Yes, I've been in situations like that, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be a huge deal, but say you're just you've already had a shitty day, people's already been rude to you, and then you finally you're getting home, or just you stop at the store before you go home, and someone just shoulder checks you, or they don't you say thank you and they don't say you're welcome or whatever, and it's just people just have no common decency whatsoever, and it doesn't.
A moment of kind, I've worked in the restaurant industry and in food service for since I was 16 on and off, and it made a huge difference when I would have to be dehumanized all day, and then one table would be incredibly kind, and you could see in their eyes when you interact with them a true glowing affinity, and sense of care for one another as human beings. But not everyone.
Oh yeah, no, those type of people, and that's why I love being that type of person, because I will if I just see someone having a shitty ass day, I'll just be oh, obviously if I can point something out, I'll be oh, you look good today or whatever, or just be how's your day going? Are you okay? Or just be God loves you, because I'll tell people that. I don't care. You might not believe in it, but sometimes it could make people tear up and cry because they get this overwhelming feeling of oh, somebody actually does care, and they see me. You know what I mean? So
did I tell you that story when I told there's I was working at the bookstore, and we get a lot of Yale professors, and one of them had just gotten served divorce papers and was in shock. And we had like a brief interaction. He mentioned it, and he was just like, you could tell it clinging by a thread. And for some reason, and it felt corny, I had this like urge to like, don't say God bless you. Like, that's weird. Like, I had like a resistance, but I said it anyway. And his eyes, like,
it sounds a little like weird coming out of the mouth. I can agree with that. But
I never know if it's gonna hit like weird, but he, like, his eyes teared up because also I knew already, because it comes to the bookstore a lot, that he gets a lot of books on like theology. So I already knew he like had he was a believer, so it did give me also the confidence to say that to him. And he was like, no one ever says that here, because in Yale it's all very atheistic, like very secular. It's
so they don't hear this. I don't hear that at all. And like, I'm sure he probably
no, not New Haven.
It probably helped him a little bit. Like, he actually probably didn't you say he appreciated it? He was like, oh,
yes,
thank you.
He was like really like moved by it. And it's like, you can have like really meaningful moments and just brief interactions like that, just by being genuine and trying to reach people, like, with love. And like, yeah, it's corny and this isn't like the cool thing to say online, but like, this is, I think, a way to have a happier life. I'd rather be happy and cringe. Like,
Ruby, this is not like corny. There's a difference between like,
I know, true, I don't actually
to like, this is like wholesome, and these are our true feelings, and like, these are
I just don't want it to seem like, oh, I'm such a good person that I made, I don't want to seem. Do you remember that person said the savior complex thing? I think. Oh yeah, so I'm like always.
And I agree with that. You definitely have to be humble, but at the same time, like, you can't be so hard on yourself where you can't acknowledge your achievements and your well-being and your, just your good intentions on people. Because I definitely do. Like, I often give myself a pat on the back for being the person that I am, because I could be a complete piece of shit if I wanted to, but I'm not going to, because who needs that? Not me.
Yeah, and that's why it doesn't feel good. Like, as someone who's empathetic, I don't think it automatically makes me more virtuous than someone who isn't, because it's like not something you can make. You're just kind of like born with it. But it genuinely feels better for me to make other people feel happy. That just works out.
It really does inside of my heart. Like,
so it's really like, at the end of the day, it's
yes, when you see someone smile after like doing something nice for them, even if you didn't want to, like, or like, guys, like, imagine this, like, when you have your sibling and like your sibling asks for something and you're like, no, but then you go and get it for them anyway, and they're like super happy that you got it for them, even though you said no, and then you just see their face, and it's like that rush of just adrenaline and fucking what's the word I'm thinking of? What's that thing that like gets released in your brain? And
like endorphins, dopamine,
like serotonin.
Serotonin. Yeah,
serotonin. That's what I was trying to think of, serotonin. But yes, I absolutely love that, and it makes me feel so good and just positive and just active. And like, I also do often, since I do believe in God, like how He looks at me, and why would I like? Because even in the background, some people might on the outside seem like they're doing good or be preaching this lifestyle that they're not particularly living, and then behind closed doors they're this whole completely different person. And that's what I often think of, because I'm like, no, God can't, like, he's no catching me up, because I'm not going to be doing anything I'm not supposed to be doing. So I don't know.
Exactly. And I think it matters that you are living to your values wherever you are, whoever you're engaging with, because a lot of people just make this exception online that this is like some like unreal space where like not like it's just it doesn't like no morality or like ethics like matter at all, which is like totally bizarre and antisocial. And like a lot of people are living online like more and more. So
isn't it kind of crazy that like online can really be your second life though? Like, people really live this like, as a second life. Like they wait to get off of their first life, their first day job or whatever, and then they're like, all right, let me get back to my other family on YouTube. Like, that's how I feel a little bit. But at the same time, like, I'm not gonna like drop, if I have something important in real life, I'm not gonna drop everything for something on YouTube or for the internet. It's not even just YouTube, it's for anything. Like, that's kind of wild to me. But at the same time, that's the generation that we're in, and I feel like everything is kind of revolved around technology, so it's hard to get out of that once you're already in it.
Yeah, and a lot of people are just completely socially isolated, and it's hard to find meaning just you can find meaning like doing inward reflection, but most people are just alone and trying to escape from their lives. And it's like, a horrific like waste of human potential to have so many people miserable, isolated, confused. Like we're adapting to a whole new like world with the internet.
Yeah,
and then
is in the
with
chat.
the
Hey, Francis, how are you? He says
Francis.
people treat the internet like their main life, and that's facts. I mean, I don't really. There's no explanation to it besides like obviously it's like any type of addiction, and like you can get addicted to anything, and they love that feeling of that fake life that they can live and be whoever they want to be. So, and I don't judge anyone. You can do whatever.
And I would love to like interview anyone. I've always been like looking for someone who's willing to like do an interview, like a troll, like someone who, because there's people who like,
I mean,
all day long just like fuck with other people. Like there's people who've like around the clock just made it like their mission to like mess with me across many platforms. I just want to know what they're thinking and like what is driving so much rage.
44 Dynamics said we could get Gabby up on here. She's the troll that you were looking for.
If Gabby, let me.
We already had Imperious Napstar, and he already.
I mean, I would actually love to talk to Gabby because I don't know what is wrong with her. I keep banning her over and over, and she'll like send me messages of like bloody cut up wrists and like saying like the N-word and like just really dark shit.
What?
And now Ed says he's like. Dude, that's why I said least improvement.
I didn't know that. What? Oh my gosh. No, and Napstar said Imperious. We had Imperious up here last week, and he already told us exactly why he does what he does on YouTube. So
do you want to get into the arts parts?
Yeah, should we play our good news video first?
Oh yeah, we can start. We found video.
No, actually, I think because I feel like if we do that good news video, that'll get like everyone in the mood. And then, guys, we have the biggest surprise for you. We made our own art, and yeah, then we can show that.
We'll save it.
Just because.
All right. Well, we'll get into that. But our art that we did was inspired by. I was reading about Carl Jung, and I mentioned this before on stream about his obsession with mandalas. So we were like trying to draw our own mandalas. And I was like really reflecting on, the symbols that appear over and over in the artwork that I do. And it's often like a little tortured white dog, like the one in the LOL Angelz thing. I just, without thinking, always draw this dog. So it's like, a weird. I wonder. I was curious what chat would think about it.
What inspired mine? I mean,
I brought some other. This is the dog, and I'm sorry if people find this disturbing, but I just am curious what chat thinks this is like inspired by.
Oh wow, Ruby, did you draw that?
Yeah.
No, the detail is amazing, and you're an amazing drawer.
Thank
you. What are you feeling inside? Because it's a little.
I know exactly, right? It's like whoa, like my family will be like, "Are you okay?" That's like. I mean, I'm fine, guys. I'm fine.
Okay, no, because it was really like the other three, like they were like, yeah, but it was that first one for me. I drew
a lot of those during a dark time when I was still like on and off drugs. So some of them, like I'm drawing more positive ones. I sold the LOL Angelz one. I want to fix the eye so it doesn't look like dark. But what?
No, I even Stevie said I love it, and I do love it too because I look at obviously the artwork, the line work, whatever, and it's amazing. It's a great job. Everyone has their own different type of style of art. So I'm not faulting you by any means, but at the same time, I'm asking, are you okay?
Yeah, no, I haven't drawn anything that's like that deranged in a while. But I do, obviously, there's a lot of, sometimes I do feel like there is like an ocean of pain somewhere that I'm like trying to hold back, and I don't even know how to access it fully, but it's like,
right.
There is like this presence.
So since you showed your art, fuck it, we're doing the art. You can pull up. All
right. Well, I wanted to show also.
Yeah, no, you go.
The Mandela that I tried to. The Mandela
and Miss Urs, who was it? Stinky Brew was supposed to come up here, guys, and read or show some of his artwork. Show some of his artwork.
The last I drew wasn't.
I'm not gonna lie.
It wasn't like dying. I'm not drawing them dying.
Here, put yourself on big screen and let's see it. Put yourself on big screen and see it.
Oh yeah, because I want to show. This is
no. I actually like
that Mandela. This is what I drew for my mandala. It got like a little crazy, but it's basically just like a.
I love the dog. I love
I know
it.
it's very similar to like.
It's kind of like giving like Rhea like rays behind him, and he's coming out of like an interdimensional like vortex or something.
Like that's my center, and then there's like good and evil like battling, and then the ray of like God like shooting out of me.
Okay,
and a bunch of confusion. Like,
oh, you're that dog. Yeah, you're okay.
I guess so.
Ruby got that dog.
Anytime I draw, it's always the same one. And thank you. Okay. I really wanted to show Mr. Stinky Brew's art too.
And this isn't my best artwork, guys, but at the same time, it's still so perfect.
Dude, I love it.
It's so cute, so perfect. And Ruby,
let me put you full.
Yeah, go ahead. You pull up the picture, and I'll show it afterwards. Oh well, no, it's fine. Guys, I made a rock with me and Ruby on it, and it said "LOL Angels," and this is it.
Dude,
it sits up nicely. Like it sits up on my desk. It's and it's gonna be like probably like if me and Ruby blow up, guys, this will be our first selling merch because this is
that'll be like that'll be like our YouTube like play button, like but worth more.
Something like that. But that's what I made for you guys this week for our creative. I don't know if this is going to be like a segment of our show. I feel like it definitely is. We're going to be making more projects and arts and crafts, things like that. But that was my first. And I was going to explain why that came to mind. I was going to because I like to paint regardless, but I didn't want to paint a full canvas because I like sometimes feel lazy when it comes to that. So like I was like, I want to paint still, but what's something that, you know, whatever, you know, I don't know. And I just was like, I'm gonna go pick a rock up outside, and that's exactly what I did. And I love painting like tiny, intricate little just details that you guys might have not saw. But yeah, I was also thinking about doing like a origami like type of project for you guys too, because I love like, I don't know, I just am such a arts and crafts person. Like
me too. I mean, I spent a lot of time alone like as a kid, and like I just always entertain myself, and I didn't have a computer or the internet, like, so I was always drawing or making crafts. That's always been, you know, but that all stopped when I was like, you know, using, obviously.
When Universal just commented and said artistic angel segment, I looked at it, autistic angel segment.
Autistic, dude. Grimes, who recently converted to Christianity along with Blaire White. A lot of people are, but one of her best albums is called Art Angels. And it's amazing. She's an amazing producer.
Oh, I definitely
Lockout Kings. Oh wait, I'm about to pop off, and I'm gonna
go ahead, but nice, you know, because I want to hear it. Like, guys, this week I've been feeling this a little bit like feisty. Like I kind of want to argue, but at the same time,
all right, let's go. No,
you got to do it for me, and that's why. Go ahead, and let off the scene.
Lockout Kings. I'm sorry that we're not propagating lies, calling us like the most hated, crooked people. Watch our show. This is crooked to you. Crooked low. Crooked, and now you have the freaking audacity to come in here and say that. Yeah, it's too peaceful for you because you're deranged, and you already said earlier that you don't like reading. You obviously do no research. Your videos are not researched well. It's getting better though, and I support your progress and your collaboration with Pronsets. And you know, I think you're fun to interact with, and I like having a little fun back and forth. So I view you as a newer member entering our little community. So
but he's kind of good though, you know, in chat. Yeah. And like we do have our thing. So we appreciate you still, 44 Dynamic. And like you obviously, you know me, I have my own separate channel. You'll be popping into my little movie nights. And guys, that's another thing. This is like off LOL Angels, but like I have movie nights in my Discord. Just of like random things, like we watch sometimes anime, sometimes just like classic movies, like we watched it, Studio Ghibli movies, all different types of shit. So if you want to see a movie, I usually play them almost every night. So anyways, let's get back to it. But yeah, 44 Dynamic, just don't like our show. I'm sorry that you think it's boring or like it's too peaceful for you, but like that is, you know, an inner problem that one has to deal with himself, because if you find this boring or however you said it, like I really don't know what to tell you. Like it's normal, actually.
Some people, they're like, they can only watch like Lolcow Queens, like shock collars, and like let's pour honey all over my boobs and like just be crazy. So
yeah, or not,
obviously in contrast, it's going to be.
It's something along the lines of just something super just off the fucking walls and people are just talking crazy. And you're like, that's everyone though. Like, I could even like, just a few fucking weeks or months ago, like I would still watch like certain stuff. Like let me think. Like, Drewski's auditions all over like the world. I thought those were funny, but then like really it's like, I don't know. I just don't like you can just start to see shit in people's ways and their demeanor and how they talk. And like, it's just not good for the soul. Literally, it's not.
Quite literally.
Oh, hey, Ramona.
When do you want OPC Dawn, who's going to come on with some surprise conversation? He's ready whenever. So I'm not sure. Did you want to?
Let me see. How long was this? The video that.
Oh, yeah, we didn't even get to that video yet. I'm sorry.
I just want to see how long this video.
We could just like go through a couple. We don't have to watch like the whole thing at all.
Yeah, because it's 11 minutes. We can watch like 4 minutes, 5 minutes of it, and
yeah, that's perfect.
Okay, let me share my screen.
I have not seen. What is Drewski's auditions? What is that?
It's like, do you know who Drewski is?
No, who's that?
He's like the black guy who he's kind of like heavier set, but he's just like a comedian. He makes people laugh. And I don't really know how to describe it. I don't really know what he's like famous for, but he was on a commercial. He's on like a Pepsi commercial or like a football fantasy, those apps and shit commercials. And he's funny, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like it's just that stuff is bad for your ears, bro. Like my head starts to bang, get a headache. I can't continue to watch it. But yeah, so we have our good news in January, guys. Anything that you might have missed, and I haven't seen this video yet, so I don't know if Ruby has, but you'll be seeing our reactions of just the good things in life that people need to see and focus on more.
2025, my friend, and I hope this first month has gone as swimmingly as it could. If you're new here, I'm Sam, and I make videos about good news and solutions to some of the world's biggest problems, and I make monthly roundups looking at what's going right in the world. If you've been here before, welcome back, and if you've been enjoying these good news roundups,
can you pause it real quick?
To help fight the doom and gloom with a bit of positivity.
I'll just turn it off so it can continue to play.
I just wanted to say, So I looked up just like what is like some positive news, because people only report a negative, and that's so warped for your brain to only consume. And there's also a lot of positive. So I needed to hear some positive, and I looked him up. But then I also kind of like judged him. I was like, he's a like kind of like lame seeming or like not cool. And then like, why am I thinking that? I'm such he's doing what I want to do. He's making positive content. Like, why do I have this judgment?
I mean, it could be anything. It could be his voice. Like sometimes I feel that way about just like people I'm listening to, like their voice will just be a little boring and I'll be like, oh well, I can't really listen. But okay, let's hear how he's sounding. Let's see.
Tree fences were implemented off the shore, helping to reduce coastal erosion and provide critical habitat for wildlife. This has a huge impact. As reported by NBC, Louisiana loses a football field worth of coastal land every hour. But in Goose Bayou, over the last 20 years, only 3 acres of land was lost when recycled tree fences were implemented, compared to the 23 acres of land lost without them. So this initiative could help coastal communities around the world while saving landfill waste too. It's great to see Christmas trees being put to better use rather than being chucked in landfills. And there's even services now where they'll come and collect your Christmas tree, replant it, care for it all year, and even let you rent the same tree again next Christmas, which is a really sweet idea. Our next story is in Colorado, who hired over 1,000 new employees to help prevent wildfires. But unlike most employees, they have 4 legs and go... They're goats, and these hard-working animals are being deployed to clear dense vegetation and underbrush, which can act as a fuel for wildfires. In Boulder County, goats have been introduced to targeted areas as part of a sustainable wildfire prevention program. Their grazing habits are especially effective because they consume invasive plants and low-hanging vegetation. Unlike mechanical alternatives, goats tread lightly on the land, leaving soil and ecosystems intact, and even fertilize it as they go. Programs like this are gaining popularity across the world, with similar methods being deployed in Australia, showing how simple nature-based solutions can address complex challenges. Just like these hardworking goats playing their part in reducing wildfire risks, the LA wildfires showed the power of humanity in coming together during a crisis. The Pasadena Humane Society took in over 300 pets displaced by the devastating wildfires, and the shelter provided urgent care for cats and dogs, many of whom arrived with burns and other injuries sustained during the fires. The shelter launched an appeal for donations and foster volunteers to help with the sudden influx of animals and help them continue that incredible work. So if you want to support them, you can check out this link here. And communities rallied together in heartwarming ways, with neighbours opening their homes to those displaced, local businesses providing free meals, clothing and other supplies, and volunteers working tirelessly to organise relief efforts. And firefighters from Mexico and Canada
it's not
came to the rescue too,
in the
to support
algorithm.
their neighbour, showing some much needed unity in a time when it feels like we desperately need it. Now let's move from the strength of human unity to the hidden wonders of the natural world. Scientists around the world made announcements of the hundreds of new weird and wonderful species they identified and named in 2024, including the Natural History Museum, who announced a new vegetarian piranha which was named Mylopus sauron, named after the Eye of Sauron from the Lord of the Rings, due to its flame red fins.
I know, you go for it.
Three new species of kangaroo catfish were also announced, some of which have a habit of swimming up people's genitals. So won't be swimming there anytime soon. At the top of Pensoft's discoveries, they had this stunning starry night gecko named after painter Vincent van Gogh. Also in their list was a crocodile newt from China that has drawn comparisons to two fish from How to Train Your Dragon, and this grumpy fish. In Peru, 27 new species were discovered, and while new to science, some, like this hilarious-looking blob-headed fish, were already known by local indigenous people who assisted with the expeditions. And scientists in Texas and Oklahoma formally introduced a metallic blue bee, nicknamed Eyeliner Boy, named after its unique eye markings. From new discoveries in the natural world, next let's go to South Korea to hear about a new discovery in the medical world. Korean scientists have developed a groundbreaking method to treat colon cancer by turning cancer cells back into healthy ones. Unlike traditional treatments that destroy cancer cells, this approach
why don't I know about this?
Offering a safer, more effective solution.
I've got a chance.
Professor Kwang Yong Cho from KAIST's Department of Bio and Brain Engineering, the team used simulations to understand how cells develop and function. From this, they managed to identify molecular switches capable of reversing cancer cells. And in lab and animal tests, these switches successfully reprogram cancer cells back into a state resembling normal colon cells. Professor Chu called the discovery revolutionary, saying, "The fact that cancer cells can be converted back to normal cells is an astonishing phenomenon. This study proves that such a version can be systematically induced. This innovative approach, known as reversible cancer therapy, could address common issues like side effects, treatment resistance, and recurrence seen with current methods. Although still in development, this breakthrough holds promise for treating not only colon cancer, but other types of cancer as well, signaling a major step forward in cancer care." I can't think of a way to transition from a cancer breakthrough to composting, so I'm just going to break this transition with a reminder to hit that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed the video so far. Next, let's head to New York to hear about composting. New York City is expanding its mandatory composting scheme to all residents after its successful trial in Queens. By spring, all residents and building managers will be required to order and use dedicated composting bins. When food scraps end up in landfill, they produce large amounts of methane as they decompose, which is about 30 times more potent than carbon dioxide in warming the atmosphere over a 100-year period. Under this new scheme, organic waste will be turned into nutrient-rich compost or biogas, offering a sustainable solution.
She better be giving commentary, or that's against TOS.
Food scraps New York City produces every year. And New York also made the news this month as it signed into law a bill that will fine fossil fuel companies $75 billion for the damage they've caused to the planet. Following in the footsteps of Vermont, it will establish a climate superfund that will shift some of the costs in protecting our planet from US taxpayers and onto oil, gas, and coal companies instead. The superfund targets companies emitting over 1 billion tons of greenhouse gases globally since 2000. They would collectively contribute $3 billion annually over 25 years, with funds allocated to clean energy projects, community resilience initiatives, and public health programs aimed at addressing climate impacts. Other states, including California, Massachusetts, and New Jersey, have proposed similar legislation. And with just 57 companies producing 80% of the world's emissions, this could help ensure that big polluters support the vulnerable communities that are disproportionately affected by climate change. For this next story, I'm going to pass the mic to Nicole at RSPB, who do incredible
If
work
good
at
news
protecting
is
our
boring, then I
windows.
don't know what to
Hey
tell you.
Sam, this is Nicole here from the
Yeah, it's like, and then this isn't your show. Go watch Lava Quiz with
good
Corp
news
TV.
about
Like,
European
Who
turtle
doesn't like to
doves.
hear about good
So due
news
to
going
recent
on
changes in
world?
hunting law,
I would really love to know that. Like everyone shits on positivity, but like it physically, I can't comprehend it in my brain. Like it doesn't make sense. It's something good.
It's sadism, it's envy. They are like, the people who are extremists, they're very envious and hateful, but it's whatever. Like they're very desperate for content, but they aren't creative like us, so they can't think of any ideas or do anything or stick with anything that involves labor. And it's unfortunate, and I pray for both of them to get help.
The state of South Australia has implemented a ban on fishing for several species of sharks and rays, including hammerhead sharks, sawfish, and giant guitarfish in state
I'm
waters.
terrified of sharks.
These measures are designed to address the growing pressure on shark and ray
like
populations,
guys.
many of which face
I won't
significant
go. I
threats
won't
from
go above
overfishing
like
and
that.
habitat
I'm not
destruction.
going.
Sharks
I do
and
not do
rays
deep
serve as
ocean.
apex predators
really
for keystone
far, like, when we
species,
go on vacation,
meaning their decline can trigger cascading effects throughout marine
go to the beach
ecosystems.
whenever,
By targeting
but
protections for a small number of vulnerable key species,
nowadays I don't even like to get into the water because I'm so scared of just like what's in there. I don't know. I don't want anything. It's like even when algae or seaweed touches your foot, that scares me. And one of the last times that I got into the water actually was probably like last summer or something. And one of my friends got stung by a jellyfish, and they like came in like out of the water. Like obviously they weren't screaming or anything, but they were like, "Oh, like I just got stung by a jellyfish, like hella." And we went over to like the lifeguard and we were like, "What can we do?" And he was just like, "Oh, like go jump in the jacuzzi." We were like, "What?" And he's like they had just like no type of like advice for us. It was just a regular person being a lifeguard. So. And
Sharks are like, they can be cute, and I enjoy, like, they're interesting. I have like a morbid fascination with like the deep ocean, but I'm very scared of it. Like, and I will not, like, it doesn't appeal to me at all. If I was like on a cruise, I would never like swim in the open ocean, or I wouldn't even, I would be terrified like the whole time.
Me too, absolutely.
Wildlife such as caribou and polar bears from the impacts of drilling. Before we head into the last two stories, I just want to say a big thank you to my patrons for helping support these videos and helping to fight the doom and gloom. And if
Dude,
you
he's
think the world
so,
needs
he's
to
like,
focus
he's,
on the
I
good
like
and
him,
solutions more,
but it's like,
join the club
he's
on
so
this
sweet.
link, and you'll also get a
Well, actually, I said we would have watched 4 minutes of it. We watched 10 minutes of it. We didn't.
That flew by, at least for me. Apparently the audience was like
feel
struggling. It wasn't like, abusive or like violent, and not, I don't know what.
I'm so sorry that, they're making cells, healthy cells now. I'm sorry they're, making use of waste. Those are important things in the world because nobody really, I personally don't think about it either. And that's why like good videos like this, it even reminds yourself that, there's all these things going on in the background, bad things also, but good things are happening too.
This was another verse that I was thinking of when I was like reading Proverbs earlier, and it's to do evil is like a sport to a fool, but a man of understanding has wisdom. The fear of the wicked will come upon him, and the desire of the righteous will be granted. When the whirlwind passes by, the wicked no more, but the righteous has an everlasting foundation. Boom.
And that's facts.
Facts.
I can't. I don't say like on God or
Proverbs
anything.
is like, Proverbs is bar.
No, I love Proverbs. It has like some of the best scriptures for real. And I think
Here's
that
a picture of
go ahead. Yeah, guys, look at my little
picture though.
Stop.
Oh, here's another. I also love this verse. There's one who gives liberally, yet he grows richer, and the one who withholds what he should give and suffers want. The charitable soul will be enriched, and he who waters himself will be. I cut off the wrong part. I don't know what that says, but something it said. I don't know if it says be water because that doesn't really make sense. But the general gist of it is that totally,
it's not cut off. It just says like, and he who waters will be watered.
Okay, and then this is like another. Just like a visual representation of how Carl Jung projected like the conscious and his idea of the collective unconscious, ego, and persona. And that's kind of a lot of people describe it as like a mask that you wear. And when I went on Lockout Queens, I don't know if you remember, but like like Boogie was like, you need to take your mask off. And I was like, had like a meltdown and I rage quit. Like, but then I was thinking about, it's like, I, in some ways must have, online, I wonder how I'm portraying myself that is different, or if I'm like, I want to seem more confident. I want to seem, smarter or funnier than I am. I do have that like urge to like want to be more or seem like more, or like be a little
bit. I can feel it a little bit, but honestly, like I always tell everyone, I am the exact same person online as I am in real life. And you guys like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. If you think I'm boring, that's cool. I really don't care. No offense to you. Like that's just what it is. And the people,
I think I'm pretty similar. Like I'm the same person, but
so let's get back to just really quick should we wait to like read our like definitions of like how we define ourselves and get into that?
Yeah. No, why don't we just do that? Brent, do you want to start with yours or should I start?
I can start with mine. All right, guys. So basically,
you did it really good.
Hold on.
Do you want a solo or should I'll just leave 2 up?
Yeah, you can just leave us both up. I just need to go to Discord so I can like read. I always like to reread what you like ask for the questions and stuff.
Oh, here's another one. Do not be wise in your own eyes. Fear the Lord and turn away from evil. It will be healing for your flesh and a refreshment for your body. Boom. And for a long time, I feel like I thought I had life figured out. I thought I was smart. I thought I had this really strong ideology. And the biggest, advancement in my intellect has been knowing that I actually know nothing. And that, like, just getting incredibly humbled by life.
100%. I honestly just had that conversation not too long ago, just of how much we don't know, and we can't stress about it either. Because first of all, why would you want to like have all the knowledge in the world? That's just so overwhelming and stressful to the brain. But everything, like not everything can be in our control. So like once we get the hang of that and just can only focus on what we can control and in our circle and our vicinity, then our lives would be so much less stressful, guys. I swear, like I'm talking by experience. But basically, if you guys seen in the Discord, Ruby asked, we're going to be talking about our online and in real life personas. How do we define ourselves? Who are we to ourselves, to the people in our lives? What do we value most? When is it appropriate to mask versus go mask off, as they say? And so I didn't write all of like the questions that she asked in there, but I did like write what I would define myself as and like why identity is kind of like a big thing. So all right, so and this is actually like this is the first page, guys, because I be slacking on journaling and writing, so just bear with me. My writing is okay. So first, I wrote the definition of identity. Identity means the fact of being or being who. Oh my gosh, let me restart because what just came out of my mouth? Okay.
I mean, it's like it trips you when you really think about this stuff. It's like trippy and like kind of hard to comprehend.
It is. No, I have what is that? Like I get like vomit words. Like my brain just moves too fast and my mouth can't keep up. So anyways, the fact of being who or what a person or thing is, that is the definition of identity. So like I said, I'm the same through and through, online and off, but identity is a huge thing that people might not see as a big deal. But it's a crucial thing to know who you are, like to be lost in this world, willingly stumbling in the dark because you're comfortable. You don't want to get out of that comfortability zone. Being following others blindly, having idols, things of those sorts. It blinds your vision, blinds who you truly are. And bro, see, Universal just threw me off because I just read that he said Lo has a child.
Dude, he threw me off too, dude, you guys can't do that because it like she was on her flow, and then now you're gonna first off you do not have any kind of friend. If anyone has it, it's this bitch. Like
sometimes
yours a why?
I'll start like what is it like? I'll start like kickstarting like my brain, and I just will start stumbling and stuttering because I don't know what goes on. But so yeah, just doing those things and having idols, like those are all the things that keep you from being who you can truly be. And how I would define myself, I would define myself as a person really that's here for others. I see myself as a light of the world. I think and love very deeply, and I'm always trying to be considerate of others and towards their feelings. But I love myself just as much as I love others. So everything that like I apply to people, I apply to myself. So, you know, obviously you guys see how kind I am to people. So imagine how I treat myself, probably even better. Everything, I already read that. I'm kind, I'm thoughtful, willing, humble, God-fearing, etc. You know, all the good things, loving, considerate, just all the good things in life. That's what I try to be at least, but that's what I am. All of those things play into who I am as a person and my identity. I have came a long way with myself though. I didn't know who I used to be or what purpose I served necessarily. I used to be like kind of depressed and just very just ill to be around, and I can absolutely admit that. I don't know how people was my friend. I don't know what I was going through. But, you know, back then I just didn't know what life really had to give or what it had to serve. And now I do kind of. I'm not going to say totally 100% that I do, but with all the things that I've like worked on and I've overcome, like I basically realized that's why I am here, to serve others. Because I'm just a child of God, and that's perfect enough for me just to be, because if he says I'm worthy, then that's all that I need in this life. I don't need anybody else's validation of, oh, you need to have this title in life and you need to have, you know, these worldly possessions and things of that sort. Like first and foremost, I'm a child of God. And then all of the rest of the things are just add-ons. Like they just come with the goodness of being a child of God. So that's basically who I am. Like I'm just light in the world. I'm just God's child. And yeah, I'm just a person. I'm just here. So that's how I would define it.
You gave such a beautiful answer. And it is like, that is you, you know, as I've gotten to know you over these last few months, you are incredibly authentic and exactly the same when we're talking off stream or on stream.
Right.
Always consistent, always thoughtful, always caring, always creative, like always considering the people around us. And you're, you know, you've inspired me so much just in how you handle like conflict and
that's one thing I forgot to put in there. I'm very like, I think that's like the highest like thing I stand on is like my composure. Like people are not going to get me out of my element. That's just what it is. So, but I know, I thank you so much for that, because you know, I like to know that people at least see what I feel like I'm seeing and things of that sort. So, but you can go ahead with your.
You need like a healthy self-esteem, because sometimes people who are very kind and giving, it's not coming from a place of love. It's coming from a place of accept me. I'm a people pleaser, like, you know, and you don't have that. You have like, it's just about I'm in peace and love, and I would love to spread that and have positive interactions.
100%.
It's an infinite thing. Like
Discord one day, like I was like, guys, I have love to give around to all. Like my cup is always overfilling. Like, yeah, my social battery and my spirit might like drain down, but I'm always going to be there for someone. I'm always going to speak positivity into someone, no matter like what I'm feeling. And just take a second and just realize, like, you know, you're speaking to a person, you're speaking to an individual, and they deserve at least a little bit of respect just being a person. Like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
But yeah, that's me, guys.
That's an awesome answer. I wrote so many like pages of like it's
I want
chaos to like I don't like. All right, so where do I even start? Oh, this is something I wrote to myself to help with like my anxiety, because I'm always feeling like I'm not doing enough. So I just literally wrote down like, I've done everything I need to do. I'm glad my emotions are so tuned in to tell me some things in need of action. I take a mental note and do the task, and the anxiety quickly subsides. I struggle less and thrive more every day. I'm just impatient. I work part-time and get paid to do my creative passion. Boom. So I just wrote that for myself for when I'm anxious, because there's really no sense in worrying. It's like, I'll take a mental note. Like, 100%. And anxiety exists to like show me like, hey, you need to pay attention to this. If I didn't have the anxiety, I wouldn't be, you know.
And that's just reaffirming yourself. Like, you do need to tell yourself sometimes, like, oh, I am beautiful. I am this. I am great. I'm amazing. Like, and I definitely do that a lot. I might have a little bit of a conceited issue, a little bit, just a little bit. But
I feel like I have an accurate self-esteem. Like, it used to be low, and now it's just like I feel like I have, you know, some really positive qualities and some things that I struggle with like everyone else on this planet, you know, and I'm just trying
100%.
to be better, you know. But this is what I wrote. I started at like, so for who am I? Like I started at what are my values? And I wrote, I care about other people and the world around me. I want to have a positive impact. I want to minimize / mitigate the harm I cause others. I want others to feel happy and do well. I want to feel connected, seen, and understood. How can I contribute positively to the world? And I wrote creating entertainment. And for this is all over the place, but for my positive, I said like
making sense, and it sounds good just because like these are the things, like you're not just telling us how you define yourself, you're talking to yourself too. Like these are the things you want to do.
Yes, like I just was like freestyle kind of writing on the vibe, and I said I see a lot of beauty in a lot of things. I do feel like every day just like wowed by like how beautiful my city is, you know, when it's like beautiful today and the beautiful like architecture, and I see so many amazing talented people and I'd like to hype them up, and then people think that's me like being fake and like, you know, trying to just compliment someone for like some other motive, and it's like no, I actually just I think there's a lot of underappreciated like beauty and brilliance
there's so
all
like
around us.
I'm saying the fact that you said that, like I'm not gonna lie, like today I went outside and, you know, the weather here is always usually nice, but it has been cold for the last couple of days. But today was like so beautiful. And I just like went to the gas station, had my windows down a little bit. And like, I was literally thanking God just in that moment, like, cause the wind felt so great. I felt so just at peace. The sun was shining. And it's those little moments in life that I feel like are really the best that like you said, people just overlook, and they really just, they fill your soul. They fill your heart. I love those moments for sure. Like just seeing a beautiful sunset. That's my favorite. Oh my gosh. Like, God gives me an amazing sunset every single day of my life. I can tell you that right now. So,
and for I also like part of like Jung's analysis of the self is about the shadow self. So it's about like the negative qualities you have, which you often end up like projecting onto others. Another interesting thing about projection is you can also like be someone, if you're positive and like have general goodwill, you'll project positive intentions on other people, you know,
yes,
even
absolutely.
if they have bad. So it's like it goes both ways. But so I wrote, how can I mitigate my negative impact? And it's just making sure I'm independent. I said I've always been fiercely independent. I moved out when I was 16. Not because of any like conflict with my family, but I just wanted to have my own place, my own money, do my own thing, and be able to have like my say in it. And but I have some like this pathological like need for autonomy that can be like kind of insane. And for my bad qualities, I said like my messiness, my forgetfulness, self-destructive. I said I want people to think I don't give a fuck, but I do. And in fact, I'm very sensitive.
You did say that you did write down your strengths and weaknesses, which I'll say mine after you finish because I forgot to even write that down.
Yeah, but for strengths, I do think when my strengths is I'm a very creative person, and I just love other people, all different kinds of people. I find people just fascinating how they live their lives, and I feel like I can get an interesting story like out of anyone in a conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
And find things like connect about.
I feel like you are definitely, like I said, I'm a light of this world, but I definitely think you are a light of this world. Like anybody who like talks to you and obviously, you know, isn't a hater and they give you a chance, they absolutely love the conversation. They're having a good time. You always uplift people. So yeah, I don't see why that wouldn't be one of your like absolute strengths. But let me think. Some of my strengths, I mean, you kind of said like damn near what like most of mine are. Obviously, I love people a lot. You know, I love things. My composure is one of my biggest strengths. My faith, that's a huge strength for me. My mindset, most of the time. That's why that's one is on the weaknesses a little bit too, because sometimes I do let my emotions get the best of me, but it's never like in public, or it's always in, you know, the secrecy of my own or the privacy of my own space, like because that's where you need to do it. And let me think. Weaknesses though, like there's a lot of like positives, like I say. Let me think. Weaknesses. Sometimes I just don't really care too much. Like, even though, like I said, I do love a lot, sometimes I will get to the point where I'm like, I absolutely give no shits about anything. I don't care who you are. I'm not going to talk to you. Like, whatever. I'll stop like getting on everything, talking to everyone. And I kind of like, isolate myself. That's a weakness for sure. I isolate myself. Other than that, I mean, sometimes I can have an attitude, I guess. Like you guys, like obviously, like I said, this is the real me. But like if my family sees me, you know, everyone's family gets a kind of complete different version of them. No matter if it's like online, outside with friends or whatever, your family's just your family. You've been around them forever, so they get my little attitudes every once in a while, and those can be something to deal with. So yeah, those are my weaknesses.
But those aren't even that bad. Also, one of my best qualities is that I'm like curious about fucking everything. I'm a very curious person, and some people just are not curious at all about their surroundings or about other people. You know, when you're talking to someone, they do not care. Like, you know, they're not receiving what you're saying. They just want you to be like a listening machine, you know.
Literally one, and I was just about to say that, like, that's one is a positive and a negative for me, like, or this one is a positive and a negative is like the fact that I think too much and I'm too aware, just because I think it is a strength for sure. You know, I obviously think of every situation and how things can go and about myself and whatever, but at the same time, it's so exhausting. And so that's a part of the reason that I get in those like little spouts of just like isolation, because I get so overwhelmed with my brain and I'm like, can we just stop thinking for like 5 minutes? That would be absolutely amazing. But it doesn't really work too much. So
also, good eyes, Stevie. I'm got my little vintage like stuffed animals coming back. They're like, my grandma gave me like some vintage stuffed animals. I just think they look so cool.
No, and I don't know. Did you turn your brightness down on your computer? Because like everything just looks like saturated with color. Everything just looks good. And
I just here, this is my light right now. I just put a purple thing over that. Also, don't look at like, okay, my room's clean over here, but like, don't look over there. I made progress. Okay,
you made progress. I just threw. That's all that matters. You made progress.
I threw like all my clothes over there, and I have to just go through them and, you know, do laundry. And
it's the first step. But okay, since we watched that video and we finally got through how we define ourselves, obviously, guys, the question for our chat was, is there a correct way to navigate through life? If you guys have any opinions, obviously, please comment. We'll read them. And yeah, we're going to be bringing OPC Dawn up if he's ready. Oh, yeah. But hi, Nat, man. Let's shout out to read some comments because I've been reading shit. Doge said you got it, Ruby. Ruby, you got this. Like, I don't know ever what you're feeling, but you are that girl. Okay, you are that girl.
Oh my gosh, thank you. I mean, I do feel like I'm glad people are believing me, and I'm believing in myself more, and just pushing myself little by little. And there's people who hate on me and want to see me fail, and I kind of love that. It makes me just want to prove them wrong. So, you know, keep it up.
And like for yourself too. Sometimes it probably feels like you can't do it, but then once you overcome that and you finally do it, you're like, damn, like I did it. And now I know that I can do that. So yes, you're doing it to prove them wrong, but proving yourself wrong too.
All right. Well, welcome to the stage, OPC Dawn.
Hey guys.
The myth, the legend. How are you? We love the goats.
I'm good. So first thing I want to do is I want to congratulate you, Ruby, on the cleaning. That's like a big deal.
Thank you.
No, it's a huge deal. We love Ruby for that.
You. Yeah, I wish it wasn't that like so hard for me, but for whatever reason, that's just one of my weird, you know, like phobias or something. It's just like an irrational thing. But so I appreciate that. I appreciate it.
And I would like to shout out Lowe's movie nights. That's been really cool. I've been
stop. Oh, that's actually sweet. Just because I know not a lot of people, you know, are in there. It's usually me and Napstar has been on like lockdown for every fucking movie night, but now like OPC Dawn, you joined and Quadratic joined for the first time. I think
I need to get someone. Usually if I'm on Discord, I'm on my phone like in bed, so then it's like I don't know how I would watch it and then be on it, but I just need a better laptop eventually. That's gonna happen. So
yeah, she's like introducing us to things I've never watched anime. I didn't know a lot of this stuff even existed, and you know, it's not all of it's not like my cup of tea, but it's interesting to just, you know, be introduced to different stuff that you've never seen before.
So like, have you liked it a little bit? Or
I do. I was kind of surprised by Naruto. I didn't know what to expect with that. I've heard a lot about it, but I didn't realize it's I don't know, is it for kids? Is it for adults? What is the
No, kids can watch it, and obviously it's one of the classic animes that was on television as children watched it, so kids can watch it too. But obviously they have, you know, the dialogue and the storyline, and if you don't want your kids to watch like gruesome killing and blood, it's not really for that. But it's for all ages, I would say, really. And it also depends because, you know, once you get deeper into the anime culture, it gets a little weird. So I would just stay at Naruto.
Yes. Yeah, be careful. There is some weird. I don't know.
And another reason why people should join is Lo let me pick a movie for this weekend. So if you come and join,
which movie?
I like The Magnificent Seven. It's based on the Seven Samurai, which I thought Lo might be interested in. I don't know if she's ever heard that
name, but I have it in my list and my notes on my phone because like other people, you know, have recommended. But since, you know, you did not only did you just shout me out now, I could just tell yesterday like that was your second time coming in, and like I was like, oh, he must fuck with, you know, movie night. So I want you to stay around and be there. So of course we're gonna do one this weekend.
Yeah, and Francis would like to get involved his Discord if you guys want to like get a bigger audience. Once we told Fran about it,
I mean, I don't know if he wants to throw it on his. I just like Napstar originally introduced me to it because he had said something about it. So we were gonna, I think, originally watch it over there. But not only like I have like my capture card already connected to like my Xbox, and I have like Hulu, Netflix, HBO Max, a whole bunch of like things on there. And I know you can obviously just go to a website, I'm sure, and type in or look up everything you're looking for. But it's like, I don't know. I like kind of just like hosting it in mine. So Frances can always come up and send whoever.
Yeah, I think it should stay in yours because you're like a really good host about it. But I do think we could get it bigger. I think more people would be you know, if we could advertise it more, you know.
And no, that I think so. I think we should absolutely do that. But people got to know like movie night is for movie night because we can like take little breaks and pauses in the movie where we can talk. But like there will be some people who come in there and like just immediately start talking and just like talking through the movie. And I'm like, listen, this is movie night. We are not talking. Okay. Like if you have something important to say, chat it. But yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Some people are like that.
So when I first reached out to Ruby wanted me to be on the first show just to talk. I don't know if you want to talk about my channel or not, but when Smith was on last week, I tried to call in. I wanted to talk to that guy because
a little garden snake. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Garden Smith.
So I told Ruby I want to be the opposite of Smith. I wanted to take the other side and just say, you know, I'm really happy you guys are doing this channel and like you're getting deeper into the Bible and like just to encourage, like, you know, I know Ruby's got a lot of questions, but just like the answers are out there. You know, if she keeps looking, she'll find all the
answers. When I pray, when I have doubts, I just say that in my prayer, like I'm trying, I'm searching, and I'm just trying to make sure I am being like earnest and like really being present and trying to connect.
Yeah, and it's good to be honest when you're praying because obviously like God already knows what you're feeling and what you're thinking. So if you just say it up front how it is, he would appreciate it.
Exactly. That's been generally my method. And it's like, you know, I still feel like I'm in like an exploratory place and there's times when I feel close to God, there's times when I don't, and I'm trying to understand, you know, the rhyme or reason to that. But there's definitely ways to foster that feeling of connectedness, and that's I found through like reading the Bible or even doing like LL Angels and like talking about, you know, things of like that are just, you know, not to just keep saying positive. It's just things that are around like the joy of life. It's the beauty in life. Like
sometimes I feel like we say positive a lot too, but at the same time,
like, let's look up some like other like
synonyms for positivity. Synonyms for positive because like we do say positive and love and light a lot, but those are like our slogans.
I know we need.
That's like our slogan. Like we're spreading the positivity, love and light, guys. So we got to say the words a lot.
All right, synonym. Constructive, pragmatic, helpful. I mean, hopeful.
None of the words like fit like positive in your mouth. You know what I mean? Oh, pause.
Yeah.
That's bad. But oh man, yeah. Positive. I love just the word positive. Like positive is a positive word. Obviously, like you know, like some words can just look like ugly or like. I don't know. Positive is just, Ride said positive is a great word. It is a great word. And I love the word positive. Like, that's me.
Hallelujah.
So, we can just
OPC Dawn, I'm curious. Tell us about your journey with faith. Just like, you know, if you want to give us the short version.
Yeah, and I think this is what Yeah, I think that's what you originally wanted me to come on and talk about. But so I was raised.
Well, we were gonna also do like a tips, like, you know, because you know a lot about the background, like stuff with like algorithms. So, you know, you can also like maybe another time we could do a little segment to give like advice to other creators. That was like one of the earlier ideas.
Right.
Yeah, and I think I mentioned this before, but there's some really big positive channels that I think if you guys shouted them out and played a little bit of their video, they would notice that. And
Which
might be
channels?
Well,
Because I'm always on the look for like new content creators that like I can connect with and that we can bring on, because I want to help build just like a different kind of community than the ones that I end up being in, that are like just overrun with like trolls and like nothing's ever like genuine. It's all just like people role playing and like LARPing, and it's like, what are we doing? Like,
well, when I sent you on
bizarre at a
Discord
certain point, like
is a guy named Matthew Parker from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he started a channel. He has a mobile mechanic service, and so he goes around and fixes people's cars and helps them. And then every now and then he'll give away a free car to a homeless person, or he'll help a wound. Like there was a kid. Yeah, and his channel, he's at 500,000 subs on YouTube, 900,000 on TikTok, and he doesn't talk a lot about God, but he just goes around and like kind of lives his faith in front of the camera, and it's really, you know, it's positive. Like everyone thinks like 44 thinks you have to be super negative and like spread gossip and dirt. There's a lot of channels that are doing even better because they're positive.
Exactly. And then they have fun like communities that are like not like just cesspools of hate. Like it doesn't have to be like that, you know? So it's fun to just like, let's design our own.
That's what's so normal and normalized in today's society and all over YouTube. So it's very hard. Like, would you not agree, OPC Dawn, that it's very hard to try to kind of come from where we're coming from in a positive way? Like, people, like as you see, we get the haters, we get the hate comments, whatever. So it's like, it's a good thing because people probably like are yearning for it more, but people love to see the hateful and erratic chaos of things. You know? Yeah,
I definitely think there's like a big portion of your audience that wants to, they're hate watching. You know, they just want to see you fail. They want to see.
Yeah, like that's only just like, does Grace even have like any pull?
Put that comment up on screen. Hate is so 2024.
Yeah, like
it's 2025, guys. We are not in business.
You guys do know there's 90 people watching Grace's stream that are hate watching right now.
Oh, so I know. That's she does restreams everything I do, and it takes away some of the viewers. She's really just like petty and evil, and it's disgusting how they live. So that's just my opinion. I do genuinely pray that they get help. They don't look well. They both look very dirty and sick, and you can tell they're living like
Ruby
homeless and desperate. Like, but they like she intentionally. I tell like she does this with all of my streams. She like restreams it to take away some views, and like she's still only pulling 90. Like she went from like 1,000 viewers like right back down to the daddy pill numbers, and Ben is like, it's because you're not praying hard enough, Grace. He's just so delusional. Like,
I still hope that they're successful. I wish them the best. You know, I have no hard feelings towards them for anything that.
I mean, I hope that they find success in a way where they're both like functioning, happy people who don't like try to hurt other people. Like that would be amazing.
Yeah, that's what I hope. Like I really do hope the best for them because they are good on the camera and they know how to, you know, work the algorithm.
And they were fun, you know. There's
whatever. But it's just like if you're causing harm along the way, that's the problem.
Yeah, and
Grace is so brainwashed. She doesn't know up from down. She's really not in touch with reality.
Yeah. Well, like I said,
exactly. I appreciate the people, but I almost don't even want to know. It's like she's becoming increasingly irrelevant in the communities I'm in, and I'm happy with that. And she's eventually going to move on to the next person that they're going to like target and bully because they have all these other qualities, but they're not creative and they're not disciplined. So they have to like latch and have like this burning jealousy towards anyone who's naturally creative. So it's unfortunate, but you know, it's not. Well, it's also like whatever. We're here to like do our little like podcast. It's our 3rd episode, and it just makes her look desperate and obsessed with us. Like it's, and also there's some weird like sound. What is going on?
Yeah, OPC Dawn. It's like your background. It sounds like you're out.
Yep.
I mean, he got the goat up there. He's probably distractors and shit.
Oh, hey, what's up, gamer?
Hey, gamer.
Well, yeah, thank you so much, OPC Dawn, for coming up. Did you have any final thoughts?
No, I did. No, I did want him. Do you care to like share a little bit of just like your?
Oh yeah, we didn't even get to that. Oh my god, I totally forgot.
Okay.
I got distracted by the sound. I was like, what the heck?
I actually showed Grace where I grew up, and we grew up just down the street from the Baptist church. And so as a little kid, we would walk up and go to Sunday school and things like that. But my dad stopped going to church probably when I was 8 or 9, and most of the rest of the family stopped going. And so I kind of struggled with faith through high school and things like that. But I had a similar experience to Lo, where I just, through reading the Bible, I just sort of understood that, like, as a like a religious person, you're always wondering, like, am I okay with God? And like, am I going to like there's people, he talks about Jesus, people stand in front of Jesus, he says, I never knew you. And so it's like, am I right with God, or am I just think I'm right with God? And so
that's an amazing question to ask yourself. A lot of people do, because when that's in Matthew, guys, I don't know exactly what chapter and whatever, but I remember it's in Matthew, and you know, the infamous scripture of depart from me, I never knew you. I know, like, when I read that scripture for the first time, I literally felt like scared inside, because imagining that happening to you, you know, it's not even that, like, the fact of just like, because I feel like some people, it's like, oh, you know, like he says, like, they're gonna say, oh, I lived my life for you, like I did all the things in your way and in your will, so like it isn't fair. But obviously you didn't like really kind of do it the right way, and it kind of brings it back to what I was saying earlier about, or both of us, with the, you know, the mask on in public or online, and you're doing all of these things to show fake faith, I guess you want to put it, but then, you know, he's gonna tell you he doesn't know you, and that's so scary just to think about. So yeah, but anyways, OPC, go ahead.
Well, yeah, and that's what scared me, is that these people argued with God, and they're like, wait, we did know you, and he says, no, you didn't. And so the more I studied the Bible, the more I understood that it's, if God offered the sacrifice for me, he's going to, like, he didn't offer something that wasn't enough to cover my sins.
Right.
And so if, you know, if he has fully paid the price, I have to stop worrying about this. You know,
and no, that's another thing. Like, you know, people often worry, you know, that sometimes obviously that's like, what was one of the questions, I think, like, Ruby, that you had, or you were asking?
That's why I wrote this for my
chat. But basically, like, one of my most like important things in life to me is like that I can make it into heaven. But like, God literally says, like, you know, when you get saved, you don't have to worry about that. You're already saved. You don't have to worry about your sin. Like, obviously you should stop deliberately sinning, but all of those things will go away in time once you truly start to get to know him and in tune with yourself.
Yeah. And then, so like, as far as like Ruby talking about the things that the doubts and the things that like she still doesn't understand, like, everybody I think has to go through like a time when, like, you know, what about evolution? What do I think about evolution? What do I think about, like, I know, well, is the earth round or is it flat? Or, you know, there's all these things that, like, does the Bible even teach that the earth is round or flat? And so I was just trying to encourage Ruby. The things that bolstered my faith the most were the things I read from, like, the biggest atheists. Like, when I was looking at evolution, the biggest atheist, the most knowledgeable person on evolution was a guy named Stephen Jay Gould. And when I read his book and I saw all the evidence that he was presenting against creation, there were just so many holes in it that made me feel a lot stronger.
I went through like a hardcore atheist. I read like Dawkins. I was really into Sam Harris. He was like, I've listened to every single one of like his podcasts, and it really took having like a direct spiritual crazy experience to get me even to where I am today, which is still like a lot stronger in my faith, but still with doubts. And, you know, I just try to be open about that process. But sorry to cut you off.
Well, and even in a bigger one is like, I started to get into string theory, and that's like how it just explains, how did the universe even form? Did the Big Bang even happen?
Yeah. And
a lot of people don't realize this, but they're looking for parallel universes because the force of gravity makes it impossible for the Big Bang to have ever even happened. Right. And so all these big scientists, like this guy named Ed Witten, he's the one that there were 4 different theories of string theory. And they were going to have this big symposium. And he said, you know what? I want to try to eliminate a couple of these theories so that, you know, I'll have a big announcement at the symposium. And so he's a really, really smart math guy. And what he determined is all four of the theories were describing the same thing. They were just looking. So say I have buried treasure in my yard, and I could say, we'll take 50 paces right, 50 paces to the left. Hold
on one second, OPC Dawn. Why was Joe Rogan's comment removed? Who did that?
I'm like 99% sure it's one of Ben and Grace's alts. I recognize the name.
I mean, no, if it was a bad comment, I would have agreed with it, but I read the comment and it wasn't like.
It's just a person, because there's like repeat offender trolls, like who their only purpose is to try to fuck with the vibe. Like I just recognize the name, so.
No, you're good. I was just asking.
Well, anyway, so what he did is he found out that like you mathematically describe a phenomenon. So all four theories were describing the same phenomenon through different mathematical processes. So he eliminated, he unified the theories. It's called M theory. But in doing so, he had to, for the theory to work, there have to be 10 dimensions, right? Nobody knows what these dimensions are, but the scientists are all willing to believe in them. And it's like, why is it okay to accept this by faith that there are 10 dimensions, but it's not okay to accept by faith that there is a being that's bigger than us that could have created all this thing in the first place?
Right.
You know,
that's kind of where I'm at, where it's like, it's either like you have to believe either God is and always was, or matter is and always was. And either way, you're making a leap there that is beyond human comprehension. And then like the more you learn about like quantum mechanics and how, like, you know, the laws of physics only extend so far, and there is, you know, there's definitely like a fourth, fifth, you know, whatever dimension.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I actually didn't want to talk behind Smith's back. I actually wanted to have this conversation with him last week. You know, so if he wants to call in, we'll, you know, have a talk. Then,
Smith, you're always welcome to come up if you're out there.
No, honestly, even though he was having, you know, his defending arguments and whatever else, I liked him as a person. He was cool. Because it's like, he was a little, I think, down in the dumps because he said like, oh, the world's all just death and whatever he was saying. Forget, but I think he had the potential a lot to have a greater outlook on life. He just needs to find the right things that make him happy and that make him want to get up and do the things.
Yeah, and that's why I wanted to talk to him, because he just seems so hopeless. And I'm like, there's so many reasons to believe. Like, you just haven't ever been exposed to them. Yeah.
Exactly. Yes, 100%. And that's when I wrote in my journal, that's why I put in that part about me, you know, used to not knowing what my purpose was, because I was like that at a point in time, and you really don't feel like there's any purpose to being on life. Like, you know, you don't know if the world is made by God. Obviously, at that point in your life, everything is working for the system. You're working for the government. You're doing all these things that is like unfair to you, and you don't really feel like you have a purpose. And it sucks being in that state of mind, honestly. And I wish he would have like took some of our advice a little bit more. And it wasn't even like really advice. It was just things that we were saying. But hey, we'll get him there. We'll pray for him.
Okay, if he'd ever like to talk, I'll call in again. But that's really all I wanted.
He was doing it like in an artistic and like trying to be like philosophical. I don't think it was. I don't think he's like. Well, I don't know his mental state, but he is like a very creative, artistic person, and I like his channel, and I like the content that we've done together, and I thought it was an interesting guest. But we do want to find people who are more on the same page of like wanting to like, you know, explore like you are right now at OPC Dawn, of like, you know, just being more in a place of like searching or believing fully, because he's not even at that place. Like, you know, if it's like me like a couple years ago, there's nothing you could have like said or done. It had to be my lived experience to change my worldview. Ultimately,
you're the only person that can change yourself, literally.
Yeah, and he's being performative, and I don't say that in a bad way. He is a perform. You know, he does like, he likes the theatrical aspects, you know, and I thought it was fun. I clipped it, I put it up in our video section. So
Kiss Me made a good point though, and that's why like I'm so like adamant on the fact that like I try not to like force God on people, because even my beliefs, like they can't be 100% like proven facts, obviously, and neither can any of the things he said. You will never be able to backtrack to the true origin, so you just put God as the theory, like you put the theory of Big Bang or evolution, and that's 100% facts. Like no, you can't, no one in this world can tell you this thing or this thing is the 100% true of how Earth was made or how humanity started. So you know, that's why I always like take whatever you hear with a grain of salt, like, and just make your own assumption of things. But yeah,
exactly.
I don't know. OPC Dawn, what was the last thing that you had said?
Just that Smith, I just felt like, there's so much society that he hasn't heard before, I don't think. I think a lot of people that are raised in public schools and, I went to public school and, nobody was talking about creationism, at least when I was there. I think more books have been written. It's more like common, but people like Smith just have never heard it. And so you can't expect them to have a different perspective.
I don't know if I guess there's so many, even within creationism, there's a million different theories. I've been trying to look more into the theory of it because I do intellectually struggle, with certain concepts. I don't believe the earth is a couple thousand years old, and I disagree with Lo about the firmament, but I've never explored these topics. And, this whole year has been me just being surprised at the things I learn and things I've been wrong about. So I'm trying
and that's the thing, people think I'm kind of stuck on my, people like to call me a flat earther or whatever, but I'm still open-minded when it comes to those things, because we just said with Kiss Me's comment, I don't know if that's 100% facts or not. So space could be real and I obviously could be fucking wrong, but it's if I believe that there's a firmament around the earth, I can't believe that there's both. It's just common sense, guys. And yeah, I don't know. But let's not.
I still don't even know what the firmament. I want to look into.
I was going to say, everybody loves having the flat Earth type of conversation and whatever. I don't want to have it. So
exactly, it's we're not. People just can't comprehend. I've done the whole debate thing. That was the first thing I wanted to do on YouTube. I wanted to make video essays and do debates, but I'm just in such a different spot where I don't have an ideology to push anymore. I want to find connection with other people across all different walks of life, and to be able to bond over something more meaningful. For me in the past, I would bond with people just over the bands I liked or the music scene, and that was meaningful to me. But I feel I'm ready to take it to the next level of meaningful,
making actual genuine connections with people and understandings, and that's how I feel. That's the spot I'm in. I'm so tired of all these pointless conversations and pointless things that bring no joy or longing satisfaction to you. I can't stand that shit, honestly.
Can I answer Talmud's comment there?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, even Ed Witten admits we have no idea what those 10 dimensions are from. Yeah, mathematically there have to be 10 dimensions for that theory to work. And again, people have stepped away from that theory now. There's a lot that isn't right about that. But my whole point was that if they have no problem believing in things that we can't prove, and they actually have to explain the universe, why is it any less rational to believe that God, what he says is true? Their arguments, everybody, when you watch things that are presented for Christians, you always wonder, what's the other side of this? And so when you actually go to the other side and see their best arguments, they're really not as good as a lot of people just give them credit for being. Everybody's saying there has to be something supernatural. They're just saying it's not God.
I feel a lot of people can't agree that, there's a higher power. They just like to, not make it the Christian or however you want to say it, God, which that's fine. I mean, obviously I went with the Bible. I can't be mad at it. Nobody can be mad at it, but it's, to me, my belief, and I believe in it, and it works with me, guys, because that's just one thing. Yes, we will never be able to really truly tell what's real or when it comes to the creator and how the earth was made, but when you have your faith and you believe in God, how me and Ruby are, whatever, and you have blessings that literally show up every day, and these things are happening for you, and you pray for things, and the things you prayed for happen, it's kind of undeniable.
I've been praying for the inspiration to clean. My room is like that for months. I was hoping,
it's the things though are kind of not necessarily impossible, but I know everyone's been in a space in their life where they thought oh, really, how am I going to get out of this situation? And then somehow, some way you got out of that situation. And you might not realize that was God in that moment. You could have thought oh, it was luck or whatever, but he literally shows himself. Not only, obviously, it's so as simple as, oh, we wake up every day, that's him blessing us, but when he actually blesses you individually and does something that you have been asking for, or that's just been on your mind, you haven't even asked him for, you haven't even prayed for it, but he just knows that you need it, or something needs to change in your life, or something goes bad, but then you you get something better 10 times better than what you used to have. Like all those little things, it just proves, at least to me, that something, hey, God, however you want to put it, a higher power is there and he's listening and he's watching over us. So,
and it also goes back to like the stories we tell ourselves and how that influences like and has a direct outcome on our behavior. You know, your thoughts impact your physiology, it impacts your actions. And so it's the story you're telling yourself matters, and the people need like a grand narrative, and we don't, you know, have anything that can be proven, like you're saying, but it's still something that makes sense of the world and for thousands of years has brought so much meaning and purpose to people's lives.
Absolutely.
You know, the things I struggle with are mostly like I think the Old Testament, but you know,
Ruby, I'm just so glad we do have this platform, because like just imagine if we were one of those platforms that was just out here like spewing hate. Like we would just be a part of the, you know, the majority, but we're the anomaly, and I love that for us. I love that.
Dude, imagine it. I would have never lasted on Lockout Queens. I would not have. It's so not me. It's so I don't know why they read me as fake. Like they said I was being fake, and it's like, in a way, like I knew I was auditioning for like a raunchy role, so I was, you know, hamming it up, you know. So it's like, in a way, like sure, you could call that like a mask. I think I was just like, you know, putting my all in and trying to do a good job, like. But
I agree with you. I don't think it lasted. I think the first couple of weeks, you know, you would have liked it, but then. It's like if you would have lasted, your just mental would have got worse and worse, and you would have just reverted back to what you've been trying to get away from, and it wouldn't have been healthy.
And I love having creative control too. I would hate like having someone else, you know, manage and tell me what to do, and have it all be based on like ritualistic humiliation every night. Is like, it's just the exact. But thank God for those auditions, because that led us here to this show, LOL Angelz. You know, it was kind of in response to my experience and our experiences, like, and just realizing we wanted to do a show that's like the opposite of that, you know, not like how Lockout Rejects did, where they just wanted to steal the brand and get quick views and also shit on people the whole time. But
and even when I like rewatch our videos, it makes me happy and it inspires me for us to keep going. Like that's how I know the channel works, because, well, obviously I'm a positive person in general, but if I watch it back and I'm just like, oh, we're really like making some good points, and I feel like this will help somebody. Like it definitely will. I agree.
That's why I've been like taking out, like recording like little clips and stuff. What else do we have like on the agenda? I was trying to see.
We did have the little video. Let me see how long this video is.
Oh, also I wanted to talk about this book I'm reading. It's a really famous book called Man's Search for Meaning, and it's by Viktor Frankl, and he was a psychiatrist who survived being in Auschwitz, and he just describes it from like a philosophical perspective of what it was really like being in Auschwitz, seeing how people navigate those environments and how just depraved people can become, or how resilient people can become, and how the only real difference is if they retained hope, and like hope actually kept people alive and kept him alive. So it's a really inspired, but also makes me just appreciate all the comfort I have. Like my life is so fucking easy and like just simple right now. I'm so lucky. It's just like insane. Like
that's
I have the coolest, chillest job. Like
we could have been born in such a shitty ass situation or a shitty era. It doesn't matter. Like, and that's why I'm so
true. It's like exactly. And also just like even just like as women, if we were born in like a different country, like
oh my gosh, no,
I'm just
literally
so glad to be born in America and like, you know, be free to live my life and pursue my passions.
Because I got to think even a step further, you know, I'm obviously biracial. Shit, back in the day, I would have been in the house.
Yeah, you literally, dude. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, you can't jump around in history. If we got a time machine, we'd have to skip
right here.
I'm afraid to even go into the future. Who knows who the next like targeted group is gonna be?
I don't even know. But no, this video that I have, it's from Ted Ed. It's like a little whatever. They have like 21 million subscribers, so it's pretty popular. But it's only a 5-minute video, 4 minutes and 58 seconds. So, and it's it's titled "Who Am I?" of never mind. I'm not reading that. So I get fucked up on words. But anyways, let me pull this up really quick. quick little 5-minute video for us. And it kind of goes just with identity and who you are, obviously.
Throughout the history of mankind, 3 little words have sent poets to the blank page, philosophers to the agora, and seekers to the oracles. Who am I? From the ancient Greek aphorism inscribed,
I didn't even realize that was that.
Know thyself, to the Who's rock anthem, Who Are You? Philosophers, psychologists, academics, scientists, artists, theologians, and politicians have all tackled the subject of identity. Their hypotheses are widely varied and lack significant consensus. These are smart, creative people. So what's so hard about coming up with the right answer? One challenge certainly lies with the complex concept of the persistence of identity. Which you is who? The person you are today, 5 years ago, who you'll be in 50 years? And when is am? This week? Today? This hour? This second? And which aspect of you is I? Are you your physical body, your thoughts and feelings, your actions? These murky waters of abstract logic are tricky to navigate, and so it's probably fitting that to demonstrate the complexity, the Greek historian Plutarch used the story of a ship. How are you I? As the tale goes, Theseus, the mythical founder king of Athens, single-handedly slayed the evil Minotaur at Crete, then returned home on a ship. To honor this heroic feat, for 1,000 years, Athenians painstakingly maintained his ship in the harbor and annually reenacted his voyage. Whenever a part of the ship was worn or damaged, it was replaced with an identical piece of the same material until at some point, no original parts remained. Plutarch noted the ship of Theseus was an example of the philosophical paradox revolving around the persistence of identity. How can every single part of something be replaced, yet it still remains the same thing? Let's imagine there are 2 ships. The ship that Theseus docked in Athens, Ship A, and the ship sailed by the Athenians 1,000 years later, Ship B. Very simply, our question is this: does A equal B? Some would say that for 1,000 years there has been only one ship of Theseus, and because the changes made to it happened gradually, it never at any point in time stopped being the legendary ship. Though they have absolutely no parts in common, the 2 ships are numerically identical, meaning one and the same. So A equals B. However, others could argue that Theseus never set foot on Ship B, and his presence on the ship is an essential qualitative property of the ship of Theseus. It cannot survive without him. So, though the 2 ships are numerically identical, they are not qualitatively identical. Thus, A does not equal B. But what happens when we consider this twist? What if, as each piece of the original ship was cast off, somebody collected them all and rebuilt the entire original ship? When it was finished, undeniably, 2 physical ships would exist, the one that's docked in Athens and the one in some guy's backyard. Each could lay claim to the title, the Ship of Theseus, but only one could actually be the real thing. So which one is it? And more importantly, what does this have to do with you? Like the ship of Theseus, you are a collection of constantly changing parts. Your physical body, mind, emotions, circumstances, and even your quirks, always changing, but still, in an amazing and sometimes illogical way, you stay the same too. This is one of the reasons that the question, who am I, is so complex. And in order to answer it, like so many great minds before you, you must be willing to dive into the bottomless ocean of philosophical paradox. Or maybe you could just answer, I am a legendary hero sailing a powerful ship on an epic journey. That could work.
Right. I know, I actually love that video. I didn't watch it either before I played it, and
that was like, no, that was perfect for like, yeah, breaking down why it is, You know, it seems like an obvious question, but it is harder than you think, and it's hard to define exactly what yourself is, you know. It's just kind of like a persistent like style of reactions you have to the world, and like
no, it's like a very, very hard question to answer. I've always struggled whenever someone has asked me, who are you? Or, you know, like how you asked what defines you. But today, I guess I put it in a little bit of a better wording. But yeah, just seeing that question makes me even like rethink my fucking writing. And I'm like, damn, like, do I even know who I am? I don't know.
Well, but I mean, it's a good thing to reflect on, you know, and just be aware of like, I'm always trying to take note of like things I can be working on to get better at. You know, obviously I have a long way to go, but you know, I think it's an important quality. As long as you have that quality, you can go pretty far in life, as long as you're always trying to evaluate and adapt. Like,
and that's why I put willing in mine. As long as you're willing, you know, to grow, like you said, adapt and just change, then it doesn't really matter. Like, you'll become who you're going to become in the meantime. And yeah, so guys, I don't know. That's a very hard question, honestly. Like, I think I will always be stumped on that. Like, yes, I will have my, of course, answer of, oh, I'm God's child, but who I am just like on earth as a person, I don't know when I could ever answer that question.
It's also like who we are to other people. Like, who am I to like my mom or my dad? I am Jake's daughter. Am I a good daughter? Or do I live up to this role? I'm you know, to other people, I am their friend. I'm their online friend or in-person friend. It's like, am I living up to those? Isn't it kind of like
a crazy thought to have that like every single person that you meet has a different perspective, and they perceive you different than everybody else that you have met. So your mom thinks of you one way, your dad thinks of you another way, sister thinks of you this way, and like everyone really is their own person. So I don't know how people feel or look at me or perceive me. That's a question I've always asked myself too, because I'll just like be driving in the car, and like, you know, when you're just stopped in traffic and you just look around and you're like, damn, everybody's like really living their own life. Like, that person's over there listening, that person's on the phone. Like, everyone has their own life, and it's just so crazy. I don't know, but if somebody ever asked me how I perceive them, I would give you the answer, because that's easier than asking, who are you?
Well, I think you come off like as you are. I think I struggle sometimes with making a good first impression. I feel like on a regular basis, people like get a poor impression of me, but then usually if they get to know me, it like changes. But
right. You know. Yeah, after people do not give you a good chance, like they just be like, oh, they'll just hear Ruby and just go on a fucking wildfire already. Like, and that wasn't me.
But they weed themselves out. It's like, that's not, I want to genuinely connect with people. I don't just want random viewers or random likes. I actually want it to be a connection in a community and to make things that I connect with. And if other people enjoy it, that's awesome, you know. But it's absolutely bizarre that like people, you know, they project characters onto you. So I'm just learning how to not take it personally, because the characters they invent in their head are, you know, they're not like me at all, you know. It's totally,
yeah, that's 100% like what you think about yourself is more important than what others think of you, obviously. So like, I do care about how others perceive me, but as long as I know I'm a good person and what I'm doing and like I'm on the right path, then that's all I care about. But OPC Dawn, do you have any like
I muted him
about like identity or anything like that?
The only thing you guys, I'm going to leave pretty soon, but I just thought that the thing that Jesus said is, how do you know, like, people know you're Christians by your love. And like any argument you can come up with, people can come up with a counter argument, but it's like, it's very hard to argue with a changed life. And so that would be the last thing I wanted to say before I go is, you know, just love each other. Love, you know, people will see in you, something that's different, and that's gonna be what you know. Even if your channel isn't super successful, I'm behind what you guys are trying to do here, and like, I just wanted to call and give her my support.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it, and we love the positive energy, and we'd love to have you back on anytime. You know, feel free to call in.
And I obviously our efforts are worth something in the end, but either which way or not, I'm sure there has to be one person out there that gets encouraged by us. There has to be. Like, the world's too big.
Oh, absolutely. I already am getting like really thoughtful messages and seeing just a development in the people in like Discord and our like little side of the internet. I am seeing a lot of people who are opening up and like trying to be more positive in their lives. And it's like these tiny impacts can really have a big output, because it's like, that ripple effect that we've talked about before, just like it doesn't take much.
Exactly. But
and they'll say it, and you'll know them by their fruits too.
Thank you so much for coming on. We actually really appreciate you. We hope you have a great rest of your night. God bless you. Hope you're safe. Hope, obviously we love you, but God loves you more. Love saying that.
Thank you. And everybody check out Lowe's movie night.
Yeah, I was going to say, I most likely, we're already at the 2 hour mark almost. So we'll probably be ending in the next 30 minutes or something. And
we'll let people do like some call in, and then
I think we're gonna open up the panel.
Yeah, I think we covered like the main things. Another thing I wanted to touch on really quickly was that video. I think I sent it to you of Blaire White. There's just like a 5-second part of it. It's like the timestamp is like 7 minutes in, where she talks about her spiritual journey, and it just sounded so much like ours.
Oh yeah,
I did want to say that.
I'm not gonna play it really quick. I'm let you tell me what the timestamp is. But yeah, OPC Dawn, we weren't like saying you had to like stay and listen or anything.
All right, see you guys later.
Oh yeah. Thanks so much for going on.
Right.
Bye. Let me see. Right. So this video is 16 minutes.
It's 7 minutes. It's 7 minutes in like 5 seconds. Just 7 minutes.
I'm trying to go slow.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Whole other rabbit hole, right? But that was something that did happen. I also had a really, really specific experience.
You're free to go.
I had, it's hard to put it into words, but I had an experience where I really reached out and asked for something, not anything material, not anything shallow or whatever, but I really lent my hand out to my creator, and my creator really reached its spiritual hand out back to me in a very concrete way, in a way that changed my life forever. And so it wasn't just stumbling upon a church that finally spoke to me, or a Reddit group, or being influenced by anybody, right? I'm sure there's people that are going to say that I'm being influenced because I have a right-wing audience. I don't really be looking at comments like that. I look at YouTube comments, but I don't really pay attention to people trying to influence me. This was organic. It really happened completely independently of any influence. And so it really was, an event, and then just me waking up. I kind of came to this realization, and this is just my opinion, that spirituality is not really something that you believe in or not. It's not really like, oh, I believe in it or I don't believe in it. It's more like a radio station that you're either tuned into or you're not. It's a frequency you're picking up or you're not. You're interacting with or you're not. And I just had some really, really, remarkable results when I started to tune into that station. And something on the other side of it, really responded. And that's my own. I'm sorry for being vague, but that's just how personal this all is to me. What I only
you can stop it, because that's basically, it was just like that
in-depth video on my main channel.
That story I related to, and for a long time I disliked Blaire White because I was very far left, and has like a right-wing audience, like she's mentioning, and I thought right-wing people were like evil, and she was like evil. And also, like, she's a trans woman, so it's like some trans women end up like detransitioning when they convert, and it's like you wonder, like, what's the best option for her, or whatever.
So does she say that she is staying the same, or she's converting back?
She's leaving it just kind of like open, because but I've seen other like trans women go through this process, and it's like, it's very personal. I can't even imagine. I've never struggled with my gender, but and I have my issues with like, protecting like women's like prisons and things like that. And like the definition of woman needs to be protected. But I also have a lot of, my ex transitions. I have, people in my life who are, are living that way, and I, support them to do what makes them happy. But at the same time, there's always part of me that's like, is that really making you happy, or but it's totally
that's
personal.
what and that's what I'm saying. Like, my feelings on that stuff used to kind of be the same. I used to support it a lot, and even stand for it and whatever else, and I still do. Just appreciate the person for being here, living life, whatever. But obviously, I believe in God, and, you know, I do believe that he made just man and woman, and, you know, a lot of people in this world can be lost. And that's honestly, I feel bad for people. And it's like, that sounds bad because it's like, obviously, you know, if it's a trans person and they change and they feel better about themselves, then that's great. You know what I mean? But I just always like have that further thought in my mind of just thinking about the end and like what's going to happen and who we're really supposed to be. So.
Yeah, and a lot of people detransition, and that's it, and they get rejected by the trans community, and, you know, on every corner.
I mean, yeah, they kind of get rejected by everyone at that point, because like once they transition, the first time they get rejected by all their friends or family, if that's the case. And then if that does happen, of them reconverting back, then now the trans are looking at them like, oh, you're a traitor or something. So.
And yeah, Dancing on the Sun, we know that she's watching and restreaming. She does that with a lot of my streams to try to take viewers away. It's really petty and silly, but I don't want those viewers. I don't want those viewers anyway. So she's actually doing me a favor, because I would rather build like an actual community of people who are like-minded, you know? And I'm willing to put in the time and effort to build that up from nothing, you know? Me and Lo are both doing that. You know, we're not going to do any like cheap shenanigans or sell out our personal family drama or anything.
And like, I don't even like consider, obviously we don't know what she's saying over there, but I still don't consider that roasting, because me and Ruby don't care about that, honestly. Yeah. Like, what the fuck?
Like what does she have to say? Like, her life's in shambles. I don't know if they're really in a position to be.
No, it's not even like, it's not even about her at the point. It's just like, we don't care about that. So it's like, it'd be different if we were like, oh, reacting to her, reacting to us. And it's like, then it's like, oh, she's roasting you guys, or she's talking bad about you guys. But like, however you want to call it, it's not in our vicinity or in our mind. So
yeah, she's been doing that to me for months and months. And you know, I've been better at disengaging. And I tuned in recently because people were just saying that, you know, they came out as being openly like an incest couple. And it's just getting to a really sick place. They were really like almost sacrilege when they did a Bible study, like unzipping the Bible, me like, ooh, this is the best porn. And like Grace is like touching. It's absolutely degenerate and satanic and demonic. And I want nothing to do with it. So anyone who wants to watch that channel, I would, yeah, they can. I'm not going to be like him and like, you know, ban anyone for just that. But if you're, you know, if you're Grace or Ben on a troll account, I'm obviously going to ban you. It's just very obvious.
I don't have no words for that, because I mean, I just, hey guys, thanks for restreaming us. Thanks for, you know, giving us a little exposure. Appreciate you so much.
Sure, I guess it is. It's exposure, and it also sifts through some of the people we don't really want here anyway.
And it's not even like the Grace I mean, it's like, I tell this to everyone, like, this is online forever. And like, how you like talk to people and how you treat people, like, people are going to see what type of person you are. So like, just keep that in mind.
She thinks it's important to bully me because I was a webcam model, even though I fully stopped and am entirely open about my past. She thinks that I need to be bullied more for it. And I don't know if that's the case. I think I've really processed that and dealt with shame and changed my life. And I think it's coming from a place
even
of
if you were still doing it,
that's just their delusion, you know. But I just wanted to call that out for being
even
really
if that was still relevant and you were still doing those things, that still doesn't give any right to bully you because of that. No one is better than anybody else. Like, nobody knows what the fuck people would be doing behind closed doors, but people still judge. Like,
I mean, it's just wild to be bullying when they're like homeless, begging for money. There's just no self-awareness. But I don't want to be negative.
Yeah, no, it's not. Like I said, it's not none of that. But because I don't care. Like, I don't really like their situations in life. Obviously, like I said, I hope the best for them. But when it comes to like the shit talking and like what like you're showing other people and like how people view you, you should definitely think about that, because like obviously you want to get far on YouTube, right? You want to have this like connection in this community and these people who are there for you. But it's like, if it's in a negative type of way, what's it all worth in the end? Like,
yeah, I mean, they seem incredibly unhappy with what they're doing and how their lives have turned out. And it's just an unfortunate, desperate situation. And it's totally surreal that they have this like obsession with me. Months after we stopped being friends, like, yeah, we collaborated. And then I had to take a step back because it was incredibly toxic. And they started just like, you know, being emotionally like super toxic and like trying to insult me in my own home. And then, you know, they're trying to push me to break me down. They were trying to convince me to get off my methadone, to have a breakdown for content. And I think they're demonic in that way. And it's really, it's it's sick. It's sad and weird. What's up, King? Sorry, I know I'm talking about your girl there, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
one.
Aren't you? Didn't you say you're like the main Grace simp? Like you're the king of Grace, you know?
Yeah.
Like that's your girl.
I mean, yeah.
The Lord, what we're doing tonight is actually we are going to end that. Tonight's going to be the separation of Tommy King and Grace Thorpe. So I know a lot of you ladies know me as being the trad dad or the big dog daddy that is Grace's N-word that gets her the free pass to talk all this shit. The reason why Grace Thorpe and Ben Thorpe were able to talk the way they talk was because they had me in the stable. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reveal a lot. What we're going to do is tonight we're going to reveal a lot of tea. We're going to reveal a lot of tea. What it is
really quick, T.I. Mandalorian made a comment.
My name's Tommy Lee King.
Well, Mandalorian made a comment. He said, weren't you funding them yesterday?
Yeah. Can I see the words that I said yesterday? Can I at least see the?
Just reiterate. So,
Clock
why
your
are you saying this? Why are you saying this when you like? I don't. Are you here to like just lie and tell us to impress?
Don't do
Grace?
that. Not tonight. Not tonight, baby. Ruby. Okay, so can I say it like this? I'm a flirt. Okay. Do you look at me? Do you see me? I am a handsome
Grace is
man
in a
online.
relationship with her dad.
I know. Okay, so I started with her, right? This whole
she was
world.
never available, and she.
Now, can I talk to you for half a second? Can I talk for half a second? So what happened was no one in my town likes guys like me, right? So this weird incest couple were infatuated with a guy like me. Okay, and conspiracy
They're
guys.
desperate for anyone to go on their channel. Desperate for anyone.
King T.I. You can talk. Ruby's gonna help herself from interrupting, but at the same time, don't yell at Ruby because this is our show. So chill out.
And Lalo.
What the hell?
What's up, BFD?
Hold on. Let's get King T.I.
Yeah, King. Yeah.
TL. My name's Tommy Lee King the Third.
Oh, hey.
So let's get you get your what you need to say. Ruby's not going to interrupt
you.
I don't think you ever met me, no, but we'll talk to you in 1 second. Hold on 1 second. Go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay,
King.
So what happened was is I met everybody in this weird layer of the internet. And what happened was it turned into being a diseased layer, right? And I felt like being diseased was like embracing the N-word, like the F slur N-word. I don't even like censorship, right? Mm-hmm. But when we start using censorship, I should have known I was already walking in places I don't want to be. I'm a very occult, esoteric witch. I'm a very witchy man.
That's why you're drawn to them, because every time I was like, on their channel, it feels like this very strong demonic energy. It's very dark and sick.
I am a very dark. But I think dark is.
I know you like horror movies. Me too. Look at me. I was like goth too. But at the same time, and I used to like Gigi Allen and be like really amoral about it too. But that's fucking dumb. Life is real. People are real. Mm-hmm. This isn't a cartoon character. This is a real girl who's been brainwashed, beaten, and abused by her father, then exploited for fucking your amusement that you pay to keep this show going because you and everyone's like, oh, kick loading. It's surreal. It's gonna be in a true crime documentary.
So you've done that. So you've called me out on that. And Ruby, you have called me out, and Lolo, I'm not being rude. I'm trying to talk to her, and we have a relationship with this problem, right? So I'm not trying to overtalk you.
That's my point, though. You can talk without yelling.
I'm not yelling.
All right, King. Just
no, you
I'm
were
not mad.
yelling.
I'm not mad. I just want to understand, and it kind of gets to the identity thing. Like, do you think that the way you act online, the things you do, and like supporting them, that doesn't matter? Or I guess you don't really. What's your like moral life code or values?
Yeah. The moral compass of Tommy King. The moral compass of Tommy King was I never wanted. Okay, would I've sniffed Grace's asshole if she was my neighbor, right? So I have a neighbor, right? No, I have no. Okay, hold on, Ruby. Drug wise, we are addicts, right? Have you been an addict?
Former. Healed by God. Hallelujah.
I am also a alcoholic. Plenty of drugs. Okay.
Yeah. I was polysubstance, baby. We didn't discriminate. Yeah. I like the upper, well, because I naturally am up and down, so I tried to control it. You know, sometimes I would do upper, sometimes down.
So to me, my world is I can afford drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not trying to be overly whatever, and I'm not trying to be fucking this guy, but men can afford to like get whatever, right? So I have lived a life to where we get I do have been and am or do.
Are you on drugs right now?
Right now I'm on probation, so I'll tell you.
I'm only on probation right now. Mm-hmm. Have you been or are you sober? Because sometimes being sober is trippy. That's the trippier thing.
No, Ruby, I'm not sober.
We'll figure this out.
That's okay. I mean, we accept you as you are, and we just want to try to be
positive. But it irritates me with Ruby. It irritates me with Ruby. With,
I don't think Stevie's sober either.
Well, it's not. No, this isn't an AA meeting, guys. Like we're like we can talk about it, but you don't have to be sober.
I'm not always
like
sober.
We're all at a different point. Like we're all at a different point in our process in our life, and life is fucking hard. Yeah.
I don't do stuff nearly as much as I used to because all my friends that did moved away.
You dumbass.
He lost his dealer.
Sometimes that'll do it. And that's a good thing.
That will. With tweaking, if you lose your fucking
dude, I mean, that was always the hardest thing. I fought to get a good drug dealer in my city, and he was faster than Uber Eats. He fronted me up to $1,000 a week. He was the man, and I paid for like all of his 8,000 kids. But
I had a girlfriend. My ex-girlfriend ruined it for me.
Like, if I lost the number, that's that. It's like
So I didn't lose my number. So what it was, he liked me. Every drug dealer likes me because I walk in, I walk out. I walk in, I walk out. But they don't like the bitches that are associated with me, because usually I have women that fucking and they fucking. Or hanging out with Tommy, and then Tommy maybe that month or week, whatever, goes to work, and then they're looking for Brian. Is Brian here?
All right, I think I'm getting a little lost in the sauce.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say, Miss?
Oh, wait, Stevie, can you look up a puppy video?
I don't have access. I don't know how to.
And why is Lo knows how to do it? I don't know why you. I don't know.
So Ruby, I've sent you a couple bucks, baby. What I gotta let you know is you are only gonna be my only girlfriend online. Okay.
Well, first off, I'm celibate, so that's a bad choice.
No, I need to talk to you about this celibacy. Can we talk about that celibacy thing?
No, there's nothing to discuss. It's not.
Can I date you? Can I date you?
We're discussing. No.
Can I spiritually date you? Can I spiritually date you?
Ruby, sex is healthy. What the hell are you on about?
I have so much work to do on fixing my own life. I don't want to bring someone else into.
Tommy King and Ruby.
I got out of a relationship. Like I've been single like 2 months. Like, come on, people.
Yeah, me too. Okay, so Tommy King and Ruby Spacek. You chug Diet Coke out the bottle And I fucking.
You can't stop me.
I'm out of control. I got the can, I got the bottle, I'm wild.
So I ripped Newports right out the womb all morning.
That's right.
Tommy, you're not
Right?
gonna stop.
And we have issues. We have issues together. Should we wonder what it would be to be a viral couple? Couple.
There's no dating, and also just so the people, there's like people who think I'm psychically communicating with them. I'm absolutely
me
not.
too. Yeah.
Oh my god, no, I'm not.
I'm being.
All right, I'm clearing this.
What are you trying to say?
King is not making sense to me. What's EFT? What did you think about today's episode?
Well, Ruby, I don't agree with you not do anything with sex. Like, that's not cool.
Well, okay. Well, but besides from that, what's like? How do you identify yourself? Like, tell us about your life.
What do you mean?
It's hard to answer, right? Like, what are your values? Like, what do you love the most besides alcohol? Sex.
Why did King leave?
I just took him out because he wasn't making sense, and it was starting to derail and just turning into like,
yeah.
We're only gonna be out for another like 15 minutes. Let's.
Links video in the chat. Baby.
Link. King, you derailed it, man. Why'd you derail it?
Lo, can you pull up like a puppy video? I think that'll help. Well,
yeah, in the chat, it's a baby
King,
Links video.
King, why are you in your garage?
I can't do it on mine. The audio is bad. I don't know why the audio doesn't work, or sometimes it does. Maybe
Ruby's.
Well, now I can't copy and paste it.
Bros, Ruby is glitching because
You're glitching.
You're glitching. I said,
you know I'm celibate. Also, you're like in love with the incest couple. That's a big turnoff.
No, and sure. And I said that we can do an experiment. I'm celibate as well. I have one nut. Do you think I've touched a woman?
I don't know. You just said you were
chilling
with bitches.
You are honestly, are actually the first girl that I've had a crush on. My crush on Grace has been fictitious. You've been my first crush. So I'm saying it now.
Let Ignat come up.
Yeah, I just dropped the link, and
so it's all good. So now everybody knows. Yes, I have no nut. I have no nut. And I met both these girls during this time I've had. And I'm a handsome, strong man. And I think that we are comedic geniuses. And we are sexy, fun, horror movie tards. And
but it's like, why not collaborate? It doesn't have to be like.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
that's what I'm saying.
You said, will you be my girlfriend?
Well, anyway, you know what I meant. You know what I meant.
No, I did not know what you meant. Like, if you said,
we can be horror movie dork. We can be dork. Can you dork with me?
Hey, I like her, like, collab. Like,
can you dork with me once, Ruby? Can I stick my dork in you?
All right. See, this is. I told you, you're in trouble. You're bad.
Listen, we're not doing none of that.
That's why I had to remove him for a moment.
Low question: do you have keys to the StreamYard or?
No, she doesn't.
How are you able to? I can't pull up anything.
I can present, like I can share my screen.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It's like 60% of the time my audio is like totally warped. I don't know why. Oh, funniest dogs ever. That's a good one.
All right, let's just
also everyone make sure you join our Discord. I'll post another link.
LOL Angels,
just so you get notified.
Please also don't forget to like the video, subscribe if you guys haven't. We would really very much appreciate all the support that you guys have for us, because we're always here to give the love and positivity and content that you guys need. So please like the video.
Exactly.
All right, let's watch some dog videos, some funny dog videos real quick.
Yes. Oh, where did Bride go? Oh my god.
Let go. Wait. Let go.
Oh, I want to. I want to talk so bad. They're so cute.
Winnie!
Oh. Oh no! That was bad. Yikes! What a mess. Oh my god. Woo! Wow, that's impressive. Oh. Peppers. Oh my gosh. These are like crazy. Agreed, Mandalorian. Agreed. Oh, look at the smile. They're so human.
Oh.
Oh
Orbs. Doge. Where is Doge?
Doge is here. Where Doge? Houston.
Doge. We need to see the Doge dog up here.
I know. This is right up his alley. There he is.
Oi.
I'm trying to get all these pimples out you.
She got pimples.
Look at some on the back and all in it.
Oh my goodness, you got pimples all over, Roro. What's going on?
Roro.
The pimple pox?
Das sagt der süße Hund dazu.
Ah! Oh my god, I want a little white dog like that.
Are you thirsty?
Ah! Oh my god.
Babies laugh.
Oh, it's so precious. My brother better pop out some babies, dude. So cute.
You are killing me, and you are guaranteeing.
Oh
this
no!
dog attached to the fence with a hose and some shampoo. This, oh my god, this is my dog.
I tried to be on your
Golden
team.
Retriever
There's
is
not
literally
teams. I
clogging
mean,
the doggy door. Here's a view from the other side. What are you guys doing?
oh. Oh my god.
Why? She's a human.
Leave it.
I like huskies.
I just want
Oh,
to
they're
pet
so
you.
cute. Oh no. Oh, it's called perfect and just having wholesome fun. It's not you are A troll. You actually, we could talk to you about your identity as a troll.
Yeah, Dan, come on up. It's open channel.
Yeah. We'll be up for like another like 10 minutes if you want to say your piece. And then we'll do the outro with a little prayer.
Just try to attempt some drinking water.
Oh,
Yo!
Oh my god.
Dude, those are. Oh, I thought those were those things nuts.
Oh my god, that would be insane.
All right. Oh wait, hold on.
This is like so silly.
Hey, bitch,
Oh, jeez.
All right. We can.
All right. Yeah, let's start. We're gonna start wrapping it up. I can do. Oh wait, I forgot whose turn it was. Or you do the.
Oh, EFD. We haven't really heard from you. Did you want to come up and say anything about identity, positivity, our show, anything?
Yeah.
Okay, that's that's fine, and we appreciate your non-input. That's
No, I
totally
actually.
okay too.
And even if you just came up to sit and
Well,
on the
like
table,
I think Dan wants to go.
you think Dan wants to come up? Well, if Dan
I
wants to
put the
come,
link out like 4 times. The link is like in chat.
But I just wanted to use so you don't have any just like comments on our show today. Was it good? Was it bad?
It was the show.
This what the LOL Angelz. It's like me and Lo. We do this show, the one that you're on right now. We like do like reread like the Bible and to like talk about spirituality and philosophy and trying to improve our lives and psychology stuff.
Are you not impressed by that, EFD?
No, that's not my thing.
That's okay.
That's all. Yeah. Well, you were. Can you tell us what your thing is?
Not religion.
Well,
we're
okay.
not religious either. Yeah, we don't like religion.
No, we just talk about the God, like God and the Bible. But we're saying like, what's your interest? What's your hobby?
I mean, I talk about the Bible some, not like that. Fuck no.
So what are you into then? You like drinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you
What
into?
else? I am into making blankets. I paint. I actually let me pull this out again for the stream one more time.
Oh yeah, wait, I want a full screen. Hold on. I love that. Isn't that precious? That's gonna be worth millions. Okay.
So cute.
Or it's gonna be like donated to like a museum. It's gonna be in.
I think when we blow up, because it's not if we blow up, it's when we blow up, guys.
When it's just a matter of when. It says 23 is actually my lucky number. And think about it, it's like I've played shows before with my band and I played to hundreds of people. I've played to 2 people, and some of our best shows were like the smaller ones, So Ruby, play us a song.
Ruby, do you
my voice is like already starting to die.
Do you want to wrap us an outro?
Rapping on an outro, looking like Gwyneth Paltrow, looking on Goop. Give me the scoop. We're here to be positive. Looking on King is Riz. It sucks. It needs work. Do we have to twerk to get the views, man? Put me in the can. Trying to stay true. Everything is blue. Everyone is happy. And now it's time for nappy.
Oh, okay. I kind of like that. You incorporate.
I haven't been as musical. My voice is dying, but
I loved it.
That's what I got.
Yes. And obviously, before we go, if anybody has any last words, we are going to read our daily devotional. I think I'll do it this time, Ruby, because I was supposed to do it last week, but obviously I couldn't because of my voice. So.
Oh yeah. Okay, we understand it. So any final words, EFD and Stevie? Thank you so much for coming up.
I always have some ideas for both Celebrity Sundays or this show, but I keep forgetting to write them down. But it'd be cool to see you guys play some like map trivia stuff, or just like certain game. I wish there was like some type of thing where people on panel could play games against each other.
Oh, I do that. I do that on my panel.
I'm scared of this person. I don't want to get like porn bombed.
No, well, you should come in sometime, Stevie. I usually do it on Mondays, but I do Kahoot games. But I do obviously like general knowledge questions, and you know, I can make them myself. So I add in all different types of questions: food questions, movies, anime, general knowledge, math questions, literally all different types of stuff. So I could make a Kahoot specifically for LOL Angels about like the Bible and just positivity. I like to do pop-up questions about myself, so I can do pop-up questions about me and Ruby, so you guys can get to know
trivia.
Yeah.
Is it really you, Poppy Chulo?
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, you scared me. What's with the different names? You're confusing me.
Oh no, it's Rick. You know that.
Well, we were just wrapping up. I saw you join backstage, so I wanted to, you know, you could come up, you know, say anything you wanted to add for our final thoughts.
How'd you feel about the show? Did you watch?
No, I didn't watch. I was at work.
Okay, that's okay. Did you have anything that you wanted to add though? And 44 Dynamic. Hey, shout out.
Favorite.
Shout out to 44 Dynamic for giving me my Crooked Low nickname.
Wait,
Crooked Low in the house.
I just wanted to come on here. Ricky's here. I seen Ricky's here. I like Ricky. I don't, you know, this positive show. I don't want to ruin the vibe, but you know, EFD.
Good,
how are you?
awesome.
See, we're getting along already.
Awesome,
EFD.
I love it.
I just wanted to come on here and tell EFD maybe you want to do a collab with me. I don't know. I mean, I would like to collab with you, sir. I've heard you're
nice and sweet.
I don't really know you.
You don't know me?
He's one of our we've been getting to know him recently. He made some inaccurate videos about me and Lo.
Let's not go there.
But he took them.
Okay,
he took them down. So
I was gonna say he took them down. We don't have to bring in those.
No.
But at the same time, EFD. Or I said
Well, but that's how we met him. But and now
Yeah.
we've turned a corner and we're all friendly now. And
Yeah,
happy.
I know.
So it's a good.
I know EFD a lot. I know, like he normally does these things where, like, you know, you're not supposed to
You
do.
said you
but,
know
you
him
know,
a lot. He just said he doesn't know you.
I mean, he doesn't know who I am, but I know I've.
Well,
seen a
he's
lot of
been,
him.
I guess, viewing his streams. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of haters out there, EFD. You know. See that? I saw that. Yeah, I know you tried to censor it, but I saw it. See, people are.
No.
These
Yeah,
guys.
now you see it. Now you see how the big players work. Now you see how the big players work.
Dude, why are you fucking like promoting Keemstar with that shit, dude?
Oh, me?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you still
I
vlog
thought-
how Kings is your
God,
thing.
God,
No, hold
man.
on, hold on. I thought you didn't know who I
compete with Keem on
was.
this.
But look.
Well, he can see your logo right now.
Yeah, okay, but it's not. So the cow, if you actually take a look, the cow is a lot different than Keemstar, right?
True. That's
He told me make. He told me make another one, and we're good. And so I made another one.
The sunglasses, like you changed it.
You might need another prescription, EFD, but the cow is completely different.
Give the cow like an eye patch.
Whoa! How are you about to go from asking for a collab to dissing?
Sorry, relax. Sorry, Lo. I know this is how I am once in a while.
I think you're a fan secretly.
Look, you think you calling me crooked? Sorry.
You shall know them by their fruits.
He hit him right on the nail. Yes.
Wait, you think I'm a fan?
You said you were a fan.
Oh,
I mean, you said you watched him and he doesn't know who you are. So what would you call that?
You calling me crooked?
no. Come on, Stevie. I thought we were cool. But hi, Ricky. How's Ricky doing? How are you doing, Ricky?
Yeah, what's up, Ricky? Poppy.
He went silent. Hello, Ricky.
He literally
Ricky,
just
so what
came
do
up here to say hey.
Really? No,
Yo,
come
what's
on. Ricky's always up to some crap. Let's not pretend.
No, what's up? What's up,
How are you? How are you,
Who's,
man?
what is that picture? That's why do you have a female picture?
It's my
That's how he
girlfriend.
is.
It's
No,
the
that's
girl
not-
that puts it on the
It's your girl.
No, don't let him fool you. Don't
That's
let's stop. Come on. Don't let him fool
Well,
you.
this no one's allowed to lie on this platform, so I don't think he would do that. That would be
No,
against
I'm not lying.
Do you-
Yeah,
wait,
I'm
do you not-
not lying. I'm
You don't
actually
know who this
testing
is?
her on the.
I'm glad that you're not lying because it's against the law here. So thank you.
It is. He'll be, prosecuted to the fullest extent.
We'll
But
be
look, Ricky,
prosecuted to the fullest
when are you coming back? 'Kay, I know you left. I know you, I saw you actually I saw Ricky's appearance on the dating show. I did my research, like you said, do the research, right?
Who?
And he, you know, he got very disrespectful. One of the guests, you know, I recently
Which
saw.
one? Which one, dude?
I don't know who that was, but you told them, you know, take. I'm not gonna say it. It's a peaceful show. Local or LOL Angels.
Wait, what?
You
What
know,
are you
let's just
talking
say
about?
this is LOL. I mean, I'm not gonna say it. It's LOL Angels. We want to keep it peaceful, PG. You know.
Exactly. Do you think we look like we're ripping off Keemstar, or is it like it's different enough, right?
Is that like a diss at me, or
it's a total?
No, I'm genuinely asking. Like it doesn't
No,
even seem
no,
just because
no,
it
no.
has LOL and it was like partially inspired by like the
Yeah, I mean,
the
but
show and wanting to do
no,
something
you're not ripping off
opposite of it.
Keemstar. But like when people say I rip off Keemstar, though, like I'm not, because if you take a look at my content, it's totally different. Totally, it's
Dynamic.
it's towards the mainstream.
But
Yes,
you even have like a cow.
it's not his though. It's not his cow. He can't claim it. It's not his cow. It's a whole different cow. It looks better than his, by the way. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Dynamic.
What's up, Ricky?
I'll come back to the show when you drop your nuts, right, man?
Why are you always hating on me? You're just like everyone else. Everyone else, hold on.
Well, we're friends now. I'm not a hater.
No, I
for
know,
you.
I know. Thank you, Ruby Low, and not only that, but the people who watch, you know, the commentators, the audience, they're actually coming around the corner. Everyone's starting to slowly turn the corner and like me.
Well, because if you are somewhat honest and can try to stay, you know,
Yeah, like
people
those,
will respect that more and not like
Yeah.
hate you and want you. Like you have to be able to collaborate with
good
people
looking
on
cat.
YouTube.
Everybody's starting to like me now.
Oh!
Slowly, you know, they're coming around the corner. What?
I'm sorry. I thought there was a cat somewhere, and
Really?
it wasn't a cat. It was like behind EFD.
So what does everybody think about Ricky here? Does he need like what do you guys know about Ricky? Do you like what does he do? Like
he
he's been
seems
gone.
nice. We've talked. He's been
Yeah.
on some streams before.
I was gonna say we've talked maybe once or twice. He's cool.
Has he been Spicoli? Wow.
For the outro, and then we're going right to the Bible. Don't say anything weird or you're out.
You're in,
hello. Hello.
Spicoli, I saw you on the stream the other day.
You said it with a hint of perversion, so
Spicoli, you
try
want to do a collab?
Try it more innocent, like hello.
You want to do a collaboration, Spicoli?
You want to get shirt off real quick?
Oh my God!
Do I
this
want
is-
to take you? Do I
No
want
more-
you to
no
take your
nudity.
shirt off?
Don't do any nudity. No more of
Yeah.
that.
Are you drunk, EFD?
I saw his butt. He showed me his butt against my will.
Wait, did I?
Ladies, he's got a low body
You were
count.
backstage. Yes, that's why I was concerned for
Yo.
you because you came on my show and passed out backstage with your
Censoring
butt
BB like that?
out, like we're like, and then passed out, ass completely out for like 20 minutes. And I was about to like call 911. I thought you were dead, and then you went like this.
Ruby, be thankful his small
And
penis
it was
wasn't out.
it was
Hold
shocking,
on.
but I was relieved that you were alive.
Do you have to show us what he did?
I did have to do it. I just wanted to demonstrate.
I wanted to
but
come
that
on
was
here
not
when
godly.
OPC Dawn. I wanted to come on here when he was on here.
Virgin.
I missed it.
Ruby,
Any
he's a
final
virgin.
thoughts? Because okay, you're already talking
you're-
about sex.
you're-
It's
You're about to end and go to your Bible reading or what?
Yeah, we're gonna do our Bible thing. All right, everyone, get out.
Yeah.
Sorry, thank you so
All
much
right.
for coming on.
Love you all.
Thank you so much. We
All
love
right,
you
peace.
all. Thank you so much for
Were
coming.
you
Thank you.
Were you impressed by my?
Bye. Thank you, Stevie. We were impressed by you keeping your pants on. I really do appreciate that. So, and we will see you next week. We are weekly. But thank you so much for coming on. Oops.
You left me.
I'm so bad at this. Hold on. I'm trying to take you away. Sorry.
Let me get my.
Oops, did I do it again?
Well, we appreciate everyone who came on though.
Remove.
For the open
Yes,
panel.
thank you so much, everyone, for the most part. Interesting, totally off topic, but we do appreciate that people are participating in, you know, whichever way that they do it. You know, it creates a dynamic, creates an interaction, and you know, it's silly, and it's like, you know, it's kind of just comedic. But let's get on a positive total reset. Wait, let me pull up like a
Yeah, no, we did. Everybody get out. It's time for the holy word, guys. Reverend Lowe. That's what I like to hear.
Reverend Lowe. Yes. We love the Bible and artwork, positivity, and all of that jazz. And we're going to close out with reading. So,
yes, we are. So today we have January 29th, and the title is Prepare Him Room. This is from John 3:30. He must become greater and greater, and I must become less and less. Imagine your life if all you ever did was add to your possessions. Unless we want to be featured on a certain very popular reality television show about people with far too much stuff, bringing new things in necessitates taking old things out. We don't build a bigger closet. We go through and select which items to donate. We don't build a bigger garage. We trade the aging sedan, SUV, or minivan for a newer, better model. So too, when we accept Christ's sacrifice and the Holy Spirit takes up residence in our hearts, we must make room. Old habits must make way for fresh, inspired, new ways of being. Things like jealousy, bitterness, and insecurity need to be bagged up and taken out so that graciousness, forgiveness, and confidence can move in. As his presence grows inside of us, the old ways diminish. Holy Spirit, help me to allow you all the space in my heart. I don't want to hold back anything for myself. I recognize the need to clean house. Ruby, are you
bars? Dude, bars, I was vibing on that, and I really.
Yeah, no, I recognize the need to clean house. I know you will bring about beauty as I do. Amen.
I'm always thinking, I've been like reviewing my input versus output, and it's like making time instead of watching trash like drama YouTube shit, like reading the Bible, reflecting, writing, creating, and through that, and like having more moments of silence, and just really reaching out to connect and make that space, and just fill it up with more and more positive things that there's no room for the negative shit.
No, that was for you today. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I know. It's always
for you.
It's always like on point for. I don't know what it is about me in those like books.
It is, and no, that's what I'm saying.
Like bars.
That's how you know, like
what
you did today. You cleaning your room. That's a good thing. He sees you.
Right?
He's letting you know that, like, oh, you're on the right path. You're doing the right things. You're making room for him, and he loves that. So yes, Ruby, you're doing good things. I love that.
Here's I kind of want to read mine too, because
no, you're good. Go ahead, please.
Mine is rescue and redeem. And it starts with John 3:17. God did not send his son into the world to judge and condemn the world, but to be its savior and rescue it. The religious people of Jesus' day were awaiting the Messiah. They were expecting him to be a political leader, freeing the Jewish people from Roman rule and oppressions. Jesus did not come to save or overturn earthly systems. He came to bring eternal salvation, opening the way to have uninterrupted connection with God, to enjoy everlasting life with him in heaven. As long as our hopes are set on earthly systems, we will be disappointed. In fact, we may be offended by the actual work of God in the world, as the Pharisees were. The Father cares much more about people than he does institutions. Jesus turned the world, as his followers knew, upside down. He is a rescuer and redeemer, and his ways are far better than any nation, government, or council. And the prayer is
fitting. Period. Yes.
Right? Dude, my mom gave me these books, and she's also like really spiritual, so it slaps. But the last thing is, Jesus, thank you for coming to show us what the Father is really like. Continue to refine my expectations and ideals and the truth of your love.
Amen. Amen to that. Praise to the Most High for sure, because he is too good. He's too gracious. Wow. And no, I think that he, guys, before we always start the show, be like in the backstage before we start live, like we always pray to God to just like guide our hands and guide our mouths and let us just speak the right words to you guys. And it just always feels like we have a great show just because of that. So yeah, I just want to thank him for that, and this obviously platform, the opportunity for you guys to see us and hopefully see him through us and, get to know him a little bit better. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Do you want to do like couple shout outs last minute from comments, Ruby?
Yeah, of course. We so appreciate all, Cycleman 90s are always a huge supporter. Zombie, Natman, Amsterdamage, Universal Bean. We've got all like a lot of all of our favorite Talmud, obviously, Stevie. There's so many. This is only our third freaking episode, and I feel like we already have like this sense of community around this concept, and people are intrigued by it, and it's starting small, but it's just person by person, and we're still finding our footing and like how we want to do things. But I do feel like we're developing, the show as we go, and it's just getting better with every episode. So
I think so too. I absolutely think we're getting on our groove. We're getting like our niche down, and obviously, as you see, we're getting less and less like comments, just about hateful things and whatever else. Like literally, kiss me. This was a blessed episode. I think this was the best episode.
Yeah, it really was. We had that feeling too, and I really did. I liked everything was.
And no, I love the fact now we can, since we did start the creative side of us, we can always do our own little, like you said, draw your life, or just bringing out that little creative side. And I want to do something like for you guys though, like I want to be able to make something that can represent like our community. You know what I mean? Not just, me and Ruby as LOL Angels. I want to like, me and Ruby talked to her. What did you text me about? You said something like, we could make like a tree, or what did you say?
Oh yeah, well, I definitely want to do something for like the first like 100 members of our Discord, because that's like the people who really are helping build the community, and like they're participating, they're calling in, they're like, giving suggestions. And I love that it becomes a community, because that's my favorite part of doing YouTube, besides the creative part, is like building a community and feeling like empowered, like we can shape that to represent and align with our values. And it's different than what some other people are doing, but that this is what resonates with us, and we're really happy with that. So
absolutely,
what's up above the trees. But I definitely want to do like either get like a big board and have like write down like everyone's name on it, or have like like a tree. Like I do my little chat ornaments. We still have Lo. Oh my god, Lo, you're like the last ornament, dude. It's just Lo and Ava.
The odds of that is actually crazy.
Dude,
the odds of that, Ruby, what? Guys,
that's giving me.
Listen, you guys do not believe that me and Ruby are soulmates, but we really are, because the odds of my name, like Ruby, like we've seen them falling off as Ruby's like putting them on, and like so the fact that mine stayed on.
Yeah, right. That
I love
is
you, Ruby.
Wow, I love you too. I'm so glad that we connected and are just both all in on this project. I think about it all the time. I get like hyper fixated on things, so I'm always thinking about like things we can do or topics we can cover, or I've been working on like the artwork aspect, and I just love that we both bring our creative to it. So
and no, I'm glad that we both bring out, like you said, the creative side, but also like the journaling, because like I said, I showed you that was my first page of my journal, and like you write a lot, but you make me want to write more, because like it is good to jot down notes, and it just made me feel good to like read my notes to you guys too. So I love that part of the show also.
Yep. I just dropped that was the StreamYard link again. I was trying to drop the Discord link.
The Discord?
Just one more time before
guys, we're ending the show. If you want to come up.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to post that link. Hold on. Here it is. All right, I guess that's it. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next Wednesday, same time, same place.
See you guys. Love you. Bye. I hope everyone is blessed. Bye. Amazing. Have a great night. Goodbye.
Yes.